people! I'm shouting. You've been shouted at.
Wishies, you should say hi.
I said hello.
You should come over here and say.
I said hello.
Yeah, Cassie's coming because Cassie's at my house. Lav.
Wait, what are we supposed to? I didn't know Lav was wanting to be like on call for.
I don't.
No,
Sorry.
Lav isn't staying here, but Lav is here, so Lav should get to say hi.
Oh, my volume is too low, guys.
Sure.
Wait, which chapter? There we go. Which chapter? What chapter of what? Did we read the chapter of what? What chapter? Because
These people talking about.
do you mean One Piece or do you mean Undead Unluck? Because we're talking about Undead Unluck, but if you mean One Piece, I mean, yeah, okay, yes, I've read both. I've read today's One Piece and today's Undead Unluck. So actually, the answer is yes either
It's
way.
One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
I like to read the One Piece weirdly after we're done our show.
Okay.
It's kind of my thing. Once
That's
we're
become
done
your
talking,
little ritual?
it's become my little ritual, which is kind of weird because you think then I could talk about it here, but instead I'm like, okay, show's over.
Look, guys, I know we probably wanted live reactions, but neither of us thought about that until this second.
Was this the final chapter? There's no more.
This is it. This is the final chapter. This is the end.
'Cause I, for some reason, really thought it was coming out tomorrow.
No, it was
Are we
today.
drunk? Why didn't we read it online? Are we drunk? Were we drunk? Oh, is it the sweet, sweet pipe?
What?
Oh,
For
yeah.
I think we just forgot that live reading was a thing people would want. I didn't think about it.
We're gonna all agree that it's the sweet, sweet pipe.
I'm sorry, people.
But let's read that last one together anyways, because I think it's fully worthy. What do you think?
I think we should reread it for sure.
Also, because I would just like to, because if I'm going to be fully honest, like if I'm going to use my full
Yeah.
honest face, I was kind of rushing through it with a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
Just being like,
I was reading it at the
So-
dog park while trying to control my dog because he was being a dick. So Mama's volume is low. Well, we should fix that.
Mama's volume isn't low. Mama turned her volume down specifically so she would quit blowing people's eardrums out.
Well, now you're really quiet. Like I have you all the way up and I'm looking at the thing and you're not reaching the yellow.
Well, we know how to fix that. So
Well, it's got to be a little higher.
Yeah. We go into the little settings and then we crank my volume from 78.
Okay, let me look
Let's
at
go
the
all the way
levels.
to 85. What do you think of this, guys? How does my volume say?
For like a moment
this-
while you were changing it, it sounded weirdly robot-y, probably because like it's
This is
unnatural
my
to have a
volume.
human voice
How
volume
happy
raised
are you with
linearly like that.
Volume. Press 1 for very happy. Press 2 for medium happy. Press 3 for pissed off.
I mean, it's like fine. You're sometimes hitting you're about the same level as me actually. Like we're both like
Rafe's Revenge is happy. Super Sam
I don't know
is
why
4.
you do the long A for Raph's Revenge. That's a short A for sure.
Because I like the name Rafe.
I mean, yeah, I'm aware, but also that's clearly Raph. That's short for Raphael. That's Raphael's revenge. He's after you.
If you would like to listen to me about secrets, sometimes I say things.
Uh-huh.
Me neither, Drawk, but I like the special nickname. Leave Rafe alone. Rafe likes it when I call him
Okay,
Rafe's Revenge.
so here's what we'll do. We'll read the chapter live and we will decide live what panel from this final chapter we want to draw. Because it should be the final chapter. Like, as much as the visuals are obviously cooler in the lead up, like, we gotta do it, right?
Yes, I would agree. Because that final chapter is chaptering.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like, I'm a chapter and I'm final.
Okay.
Sometimes he just doesn't get my vibe.
we ready? Hey guys, I didn't know Creed was black.
Oh, that's awkward for you.
Wait, is that Creed or is that the other guy? That's Creed, right?
I also didn't know, so it's awkward for me as well.
Yeah.
It's awkward. It's awkward for us both, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. He's not? Oh, it's Void. It's Sorry. Void is the one I was talking about. Guys, I say the wrong word for Creed and Void because hear me out on this, right?
Okay.
Void is a boxer and Creed is about a boxer, the movie.
Good for you.
I call Void Creed a lot by accident. This has happened before.
Connections.
I didn't realize Void was black.
We're supposed to riff for a minute in the beginning.
we
Did you
are?
hear about the time that Lav is always like, you should do your riffing? Can I tell you a thing that I really like? I've already talked about it with Lav and you didn't get to be here for it, but I'm just going to mention it.
Yeah. Give me
I
back.
have a weird fascination with ironing things with the bottom of my teapot, my flat
Here, I guess
glass
we'll,
teapot when I
whoops,
make
that's
tea in it. I have
okay.
just ironed my screen cleaner um for my Steam Deck. It looks like paper. It's
Wait,
so
hold
well
on, I'll
ironed.
take a picture and I'll drop it in the Discord.
You know what? That's worthy. Let me just put it over this.
Ah, okay. Okay.
You can do.
What are we gonna do?
And
Where
that
are
is
we
the
at?
thing I want to talk about, but I'm done. This birthday week has been absolutely tremendous.
Is
My
that
birthday
so?
week has been,
What has happened with your birthday week? What's going on? What's
oh
the
my
what's the
God,
birthday
what
week
hasn't
deal?
happened in my birthday week? I got an emotional support pickle this week.
You got an emotional
Um,
support pickle. What
as one
the
does,
no,
as
you
one
can't
does,
actually say
it
that. You need to
craves
explain
revenge.
what the fuck that is.
It's filled with,
That's
I
nothing.
think,
That's not a
magic.
thing.
I think it's filled with magic sand,
Yep.
I think. Anyways, and then
Anyone?
it's
Hey chat,
got
help me out. What's an emotional support pickle? Is that just a thing someone can just drop and leave alone, or is that something
it's
that
an
needs like a
emotional
vague amount of
support pickle. It's a
explanation?
pickle, but it supports you emotionally. Jesus, it's right in the name, man. Oh my God, happy birthday week, super nerd. What is your actual birthday? My actual birthday is 0123, which, as Drawk told me, is the
Yep.
happiest birthday.
Well, okay, it's the happiest birthday. You know what? I'm gonna do my warm ups while we're doing this. It's the happiest birthday specifically according to an episode of Smarty Pants, which is a Dropout show. If anyone knows Smarty Pants from Dropout, they decided Mama's birthday is the happiest birthday because they were like, well, a birthday is happy, and we know what the bad birthdays are. What's the good birthday? We never talk about it. So he went out of his way. He did scientific research, which if you've watched Smarty Pants is means not scientific research. He just made some decisions, came to his own logical conclusion, and he decided one random guy whose name I forget decided that January 23rd. It's the one that's bullshit PowerPoints. That is it. Yeah, it's Mike Trapp. It was Mike Trapp. Okay, Mike Trapp of Dropout of College Humor decided that January 23rd is the best birthday, is the happiest
And that's
birthday.
mine. And they are right. And if you're British, but your birthday is January 23rd, you just do it my way because 0123 is better than 2301.
Everyone should
Like,
just
everyone can tell that.
everyone should just do what Canada does. And Canada does something special, guys, that you need to think about, okay? What has Canada done that is great? Well, you might be
Whatever it wants.
like, in America, we have our dates arranged so and so, so and so. And in Europe, we have it whatever different thing. And you're like, oh, wow, we have disagreements. No, Canada, we're off that shit. We are one of two countries that I'm not joking have three officially recognized month, day, year orders. You just make it up here. You do as you
You
will.
basically, it's you do you, baby.
We're the most indecisive nation. And you know what? I wear that with a badge of pride. We come from a country
Thank you,
that
Valentine.
says, hey, you figure out how you want to organize month, day, year, and fuck everybody. They won't know. Yeah, there's three legally recognized ones. Official documents are allowed to use three different orders of month, day, year. It's why I've always found it weird when people talk about their countries, and I'm like, isn't that like an individual? I talked to American ones. I'm like, isn't that like an individual belief? Like you argue with other people, and they're like, no, your country does it a certain way. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
No, objectively, I like it as being month because then it's 0123.
Yeah. Here's what I
Yeah.
like. Here's my favorite, and there's no
But
argument.
I won't piss
There's
on your
no
cornflakes if you change it.
my favorite format, and there's no arguing that I'm right. Is month, day, year. Now, why do I like that best? Because you might say, well, if you do day, month, year, then you're going in order of smallest to biggest. And if you go year, month, day, you're going biggest to smallest. It makes sense. Is there any logic for why month, day, year is fun? Nope.
Yeah, but
I've yet to think of a
he
logical
says
argument for why
no.
it's good, but I like it best. That's my
He says
choice.
no because no one says the date in that order. But for God's sakes, I would never say it is the 23rd of January. I would say January 23rd.
I would absolutely.
January
When someone
4th,
asks my birthday, I don't
March
say
9th,
it is the 26th of October because I'm not an
January
English
6th.
child. I
You
say
don't
it
say
is October
no.
26th. It is October
Exactly.
26th.
No, Lucy, you were on the right side. You don't say, where were you 6th of January? You say,
Yeah.
on January 6th, some people tried to take over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they did it legally a little while later.
Okay. Never mind. Apparently, they forgot that in English you actually do say it the month first.
It is the January 23rd.
But yeah, Canada, in most countries, there's like an official policy for which way you do it. Canada, that's a personal belief.
Sam Fisher, I am a malnourished Victorian child, and everybody knows that. You
This
can't tell
has
me
been
otherwise.
brought up before.
It has been brought up.
So
Also, if I'm going to do an English accent, it will move all over. Although it has been pointed out to me that recently I'm really sticking to Cheapside.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just leveling out as Cheapside.
What does that mean? I don't know what that is.
Not. In England, there's an area where people were poorer and they had shittier lives and there were street urchins. You might say find Oliver Twist there, and it is that's called Cheapside.
So Oliver, okay, that's where Oliver from. Gotcha. Dude, I'm confused.
I'm
Okay.
on Cheapside.
In Portuguese, you
You're
do say
wrong.
the
That's how they
26th of
talk about it
January.
in novels. Your dad is like popping off in the background, but what he doesn't understand is in novels they always say he lives on Cheapside.
Did they say that, or did they say,
They don't say
"Oi,
lives on poor
lives on
side.
cheap
Who says
side"?
that? Okay,
I-
maybe they talk like that. He's off from Cheapside. You'll find him in the streets, hidden
Dude.
underneath a bucket.
Dude, I learned a great accent fact recently that I was so eager to tell everyone, and then it vanished from my brain. So y'all gonna have to imagine for yourself. Make up your own fact, and it's true now. And that's what I was gonna say about
Oh my
accents.
god, Drawk, that was the coolest fact I've ever heard.
Yeah. So whatever you think is a funny thing that you could believe about accents, that's the fact I just said. Because
Can I
there was
tell
a
you
cool
what
thing I
fact?
was gonna say, and I forgot. So
Coolest
that's where we're at.
ever? And I've remembered it, unlike some people who
Yeah.
are just like make a fact up.
Yeah. That's how it
I
be.
learned two things happened today.
What's
That's
that?
two things. One of
Oi,
them,
lad.
if you're interested, and I own Outer Wilds, the game.
You bought you've purchased Outer Wilds, the game where you die
To
or
think
whatever.
that I've been playing Outer Wilds is ridiculous. I played it for like 7 minutes and crashed a plane into the ground 90 times.
Okay, actually, Jeff
just playing Outer Wilds.
Jeff the Evil Potato brought up a real accent fact that I love, which is that there is an Antarctica accent that is developing in research bases.
Okay, well, I want that accent. I'm angry now.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could have a cool accent like that, and now I don't, and I'm so pissed.
There's also a space
Okay,
station
so that's
accent
the
that you
first
start to
thing.
develop if you live on the space station too long.
That's an amazing accent fact.
Yeah.
That was who said it?
Well,
Just
no,
the Evil
that one I
Potato?
said. The Antarctica one was said by Jeff the Evil Potato 1, as opposed to Jeff the Evil Potato.
Okay, number 2, I own the greatest game ever made that I didn't know that I would love, even though every time I play it, my face makes a squinchy thing. And that's Thank Goodness You're Here. And the fact that people aren't talking about this all the time angers me. I'm mad at everyone who's not talking about it.
What is it?
bring it up.
Who is
I bring
this?
it up to old people who don't play games. Like 70-year-olds are
Okay.
hanging out, and I'm like, you should play this game called Thank Goodness You're Here.
Okay.
The next thing is I bought this other game that everyone told me to.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. No, I got the Untitled Goose Game. I got this guy.
You're gaming out here is what I'm hearing.
You have no idea. My games are gaming. But I got something called Bun House. Don't start me on that one. I don't know. I got another game everyone wanted me to have. But what I'm trying to tell you is Lab set me up today so that I could do streaming of me playing games.
You are now a video game streamer, and that's fucking radical. You're gonna be the most popular video game streamer ever. They're gonna be like, Asmongold who? Honestly,
We're
that
gonna
is
get
what they
there, but
should
I'm
say.
not even kidding. I'm gonna start streaming my game playing for no reason.
Yeah, do it.
Maybe even on Twitch, and people are
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Rawr," and then you're gonna come in and we're gonna hang out.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. I don't know how often I can do that. I am
Tuesday, we're
notoriously
playing a game
busy
on
and
Patreon.
unavailable. However, yes.
Yes, I'm super excited. What else do you ask? I'm trying to remember all the games I got. I have
Mhm.
Hollow Knight that was gifted to me.
Yes.
It's hard but wonderful.
It's very hard, but it's very beautiful. See, I'm more of a 3D action gamer. I like what I call, no one else calls them this, but what I call a roll and bopper. So a roll and bop game is a game where the two main mechanics are roll and bop. Now, sometimes the roll's not a roll, but the roll always feels like a roll. So for instance, anyone who's played Westshore 3, you don't actually roll, but that's still a roll and bop game because the dodge feels very roll-like. Now, this is different than like a rhythm action game like Assassin's Creed, Shadows over Mordor, or Batman, which are those are parry and bop games. Because the parry is the more important mechanic. Now, can you parry in Dark Souls? Can you dodge in Assassin's Creed? Yes, but you know which one feels like the main thing you're supposed to do. For instance, Sekiro, that's a rhythm action game that is not a roll and bopper. But I like my roll and boppers. I like my Witcher. I like my Dark Souls. I like my Monster Hunter. All that stuff. Now, Hollow Knight, that's like a hard Metroidvania, which I'm bad at.
I love Hollow Knight, but can I tell you just a little thing about Hollow Knight?
Is that you're a
I've been
little bug
trying a
guy?
bunch of games, so I haven't been playing Hollow Knight all the time or doing Hollow Knight, and I've been doing stuff. But then I go into Hollow Knight, and the little man is crying because his little friends are lost, and I don't know how to save them yet. And it actually depresses me. I feel like there's refugees all around here being kept in cages, and I can't find them. And I'm a useless tit who's making life harder for the crying caterpillar. It's
Oh,
actually quite hard on me.
oh
It's
no.
really killing me. It's killing
Um,
my soul.
Roll and Bop is not a variant of rhythm game. No, because like Witcher and Dark Souls aren't rhythm games. I mean, they're a little bit rhythm based, but like very specifically, like Batman, Assassin's Creed, and those are meant to be rhythm games.
Also, I'm a little worried about playing because um, I'm a little bit worried about playing some of these games live with people because I know people think I swear a lot here,
Uh huh.
but I
Do they?
don't. But it does turn out that when I'm playing games
Yeah.
that I drop the C word a lot.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's allowed on Twitch. Now, if Twitch was actually being like consistent, it wouldn't be allowed on Twitch because technically that's a slur. But what counts as a slur is really arbitrary. So, yeah, it's fine.
Is that I think I'm part Australian.
Oh, okay. So it's allowed then. Yeah.
It's cultural.
Yeah. It's cultural for your Australian heritage.
I'm just saying it's part of my Australian heritage that the K word slash C word makes its way out of my mouth every 2 seconds because people take things from my goose.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the game. Is it's a puzzle game where if you don't do the right goose
It's not
stuff,
appropriate. My goose worked so hard to get those things, and then they're
no, no,
off
no.
here
I'm
like the
sorry.
C words they are.
If you didn't distract the lady, she deserved to get the slipper
Give a
back.
shit about the lady. I didn't play that long. I'm not allowed. I'm supposed to play live.
Oh, you have to play the Untitled. The Untitled Goose Game is good. Guys, we can't.
Yeah,
We're not gonna just say
gonna
the word for the sake of saying the
we're
word.
apparently gonna play it with people in Patreon on Tuesday, and I'm excited. So I'm not like playing it a bunch beforehand, but I've got to tell you, I have discovered that the hard word comes out of my mouth every 3 seconds, and I have to like rein that shit
Yeah,
in.
no. It's a C word, and it's the C word that is technically a slur for a gender, not technically a slur for an ethnicity. Of the two C words that are technically
A word.
slurs, Rafts, that is not correct, and also has been caught by the censors, which is very funny.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the word. It's my favorite. And
I
I
love
think I
people
killed the little
guessing
man in my
slurs
head.
in chat. That's very funny.
I think now that I've killed the little man
Oh,
inside of
Rafts,
my
you're right.
head and he's no longer monitoring my language, I might hire a woman, see if she does a better job.
Uh huh.
I don't know. It could happen. Because I almost dropped the C word random times with some people.
I mean, if you almost did it, it sounds like the man inside your head is doing a good job.
No, he didn't take care of it. I personally did. I had to go into conscious mind to do it. He was all
Okay.
out there in my subconscious being like, "You want to drop the C word? That's on you, lady. That sounds good to me." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? The C word? Get your shit together, little man in my head." Little man in my head.
The little man in your head has like a British butler voice, doesn't he?
He does, but actually, he just sounds like David Attenborough.
I thought it would be like exactly that, but I couldn't remember his name, so I said British butler voice.
It's literally David Attenborough,
Like, of
and he
course it
writes
is,
all
yeah.
my essays for me too. Whenever I'm writing an essay, I bring David Attenborough in, and he
Okay,
talks out my essay.
so I don't have like an essay voice, but I have a voice in my head that reads out all of the like poetic prose that I write. and it's the narrator from Baldur's Gate 3, who's like a fancy elderly British woman. So she's like the general narrator for me when it comes to like writing.
Cool. I'm glad you got a chick in your head and I got a dude in my head.
Well, I mean that's just for
Dude
that
in my
thing.
head will say things like, in North America, the indigenous people of this region are actually more closely related to the Mayans.
So the lady in my head will be there for when I'm writing some stuff, but then like so there's two main voices in my head for when I'm writing, right? One is a stoic and mysterious elderly British woman who reads everything with an air of menace. And then the other is like a southern man, but the type of guy who's sitting across the bar from you telling you some shit. He's explaining what's going on here, and it's not like a thick southern accent, but it's enough that it's definitely there. Those are the two voices I got. Those are my two.
I'm excited for you that you get like so many different voices. I have
We got two
Sid
guys.
Vicious from the
Sid
Sex
Vicious,
Pistols
yeah,
in my head.
that's
Every time
great.
I'm angry, Sid Vicious is diatribing inside of my head, and I'm just trying to hold it back. So if y'all ever hear me angry, know that I am holding that shit back.
Wait, the cowboy
Sid
from
Vicious
Dracula?
wants me to go like crazy. He wants me to be like, "Go and save the queen!"
Okay. Oh, hey, do you want a fun Sex Pistols fact?
I do. Is this going to be another one where I have to make up my own fucking fact in the end, or am I actually going to get
No,
one?
no, you're gonna get a fact. So, the punk movement was started with the Sex Pistols, right? They were the birth of the punk movement.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and punk. A lot of people don't know this because the punk scene and its aesthetics genuinely got co-opted by the far right. But punk philosophy is like radical leftist philosophy, usually anarchistic, and punk philosophy early on was more than anything about use of the rotten meaning society's discards, the trash of capitalism, that which is
That's why we have
undesirable.
Johnny Rotten.
Yeah, Johnny Rotten was named Johnny Rotten because of this philosophy, this idea of like living off the excess, embracing and
Here for it.
celebrating what capitalism sees as trash and undesirable, both in terms of people and objects. And punk fashion was all about reinventing scraps and what was thrown away or in thrift shops and turning it into something new, which is why you see improvisation in punk fashion. And then a woman comes along named Vivienne Westwood, who started en masse
Nope.
selling already
Jason,
produced
you're
punk
wrong.
fashion. And this great thing happened where there's this theory that capitalism's greatest asset is it can profit off of self-hatred, that capitalism can co-opt anti-capitalist rhetoric in a way that no other philosophy can. It's bizarre. No other philosophy, no other governing system has ever been able to take the hatred of itself and sell it to you to make itself stronger. And Vivienne Westwood was effectively taking punk fashion doing this. What was very funny about this was that the people in charge kind of saw no difference between this like mass-produced punk and this anti-capitalist punk and hated her, and she became a symbol of the punk movement for resisting authority by continuing to fund her by continuing to run her company selling punk fashion, despite the fact that a lot of punks at first hated her. And then what makes it even funnier is later on, because she became one of the most profitable designers, profitable business people in England, the Queen was like, "Oh, she's a right celebrity of British culture, she is," and gave a damehood to Vivienne Westwood, meaning Vivienne Westwood went from being hated by punk to hated by the Queen to celebrated by punk to celebrated by the Queen. And anyways, then she became the lead fashion designer for Final Fantasy 15.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a nice little story. Can I tell you one other thing about punk? One time when
Sure,
I
yeah,
was
go
a
for it.
teenager, a leg ripped too much on my pants, on my jeans that I liked the most. So
Yeah.
I ripped it the entire way off and then reattached it with safety pins. So one leg was just held on with safety pins the whole way around. It became like a gate or a fence around my
Mhm.
leg of safety pins. And I'm going to tell you, I looked so cool. It was almost too hard to believe. But here's the thing you shouldn't do. You shouldn't have that part of your leg on your thigh because when you sit, they're not as safe as the name would imply. So the name safety pins is a misnomer, in my honest opinion, given that if you put enough pressure on them in your thigh-ish area, they will become unsafety pins and they will change the look of your leg. And I'm still wearing those pants
that is
today. They're still a part of my leg.
that's fucking okay. So some people brought up how my story had a very sudden turn to Final Fantasy 15. I'm not joking. Final Fantasy 15 hired Vivienne Westwood as a fashion designer, but what was so funny about it was she wanted advertising from it. So, and she likes Final Fantasy apparently, or at least likes their style and knew about it tangentially. I don't think she's a gamer, unless I'm very mistaken about Vivienne Westwood. Who the fuck knows? Um, so she demanded to basically get advertising credits, and the way they did that was Vivienne Westwood is a canonic person who exists in Final Fantasy 15. However, in the game Final Fantasy 15, she didn't design everyone's outfits. I mean, she might have, because you play as like rich fancy boys who are like super wealthy nobles. So she might have designed their clothing. They might have bought from her line. But it's so fucking unreal to be taking a course on the visual history of Western fashion, have just learned about Vivienne Westwood, be playing Final Fantasy 15, and you're walking around the city and they're talking about the wedding dress for the girl you're supposed to marry in game that's on display, and they're like, it's a Vivienne Westwood original. And it's just like, these are backgrounds in fantasy Venice talking about shit, just gossiping in the background of a fucking video game, being like, did you hear about the Vivienne Westwood wedding dress? And it is the most unsettling thing in the fucking world.
I love that.
I have to be real. Much as she kind of co-opted the punk movement in a pretty shitty way, I respect Vivienne Westwood's hustle, man.
If we're gonna be honest, like she co-opted it, and then it co-opted her, and then all of them cooperated. Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, yeah, that's the yeah. So yeah, no, you'll be walking around Final Fantasy 15, and can I know we've already gone over the amount of time we normally vamp, but I'm gonna briefly go off on Final Fantasy 15. I wish its gameplay was better. I love the gameplay in Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I wish that's a roll and bop game. I fucking wish I liked the gameplay in Final Fantasy 15 because, or its story, because aesthetically, it is my favorite game I've ever played. I genuinely, style wise, I'm gonna bring this up. I want you to see this. It is a mix of, I'm gonna say 3 genres, okay? And you're gonna bear with me, right? Magipunk, which is basically like fantasy steampunk, right?
Yeah.
Traditional Western fantasy, okay?
Okay.
And Americana.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound so cool? Like,
fine. I will say yes.
Okay, no. You got to look at this. You got to look at this. Look at this. The opening shot of that. No. I said Magipunk. Magipunk is its own style because like it's different than steampunk because it just looks like magical steampunk. Magipunk's its own thing. That's 3. Look how good this opening scene is. Look how cool this looks. Isn't this just radical?
Let me see. Actually, that is radical.
Yeah, no, this game rules aesthetically, and I fucking hate playing it.
Why do you, that's upsetting. I'm upset that you hate playing that game.
I have never liked playing it. No, but the Americana is not just the Far West. The Americana has Far West in it. It has like small town country diner. It has parts that feel like the South, parts that feel like American cities, a little bit of like European shit, but it is mostly Americana inspired visually, and it's so aesthetically cool. And I fucking hate playing it every time. The gameplay sucks. The story is at best passable. The side quests are shit. Like, it does none of the things I like in a game, but it looks so cool.
Well, maybe you should just have pictures of it on your wall for decorating your home, but not play it.
The thing is, I'm an experience first kind of person. Whenever I put anything around me that's related to media, it has to be media that I feel deeply about. Speaking of feeling deeply about, should we get started?
Do you know how I feel deeply about things? I feel deeply that we are at the end of my very first manga.
Yes. just to answer your question, every Final Fantasy is different. Just play the ones that fit your sensibilities. If you like tactics games, play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's that simple. Just play like they're all different. They're all different. Final Fantasy is not a thing you should play all of. I know almost no one who likes all the Final Fantasy games. Anyways, are we ready? Are we ready for your first manga?
It's so upsetting. It's like it's exciting, but also like I feel really weird. But on the other hand, because not everyone knows about Undead Luck because they're twits.
Yeah.
And goofballs. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm just gonna use the true Canadian mean thing to say and just call all those people goofs. Like if someone calls you a goof in Canada, whew, goddamn, they really think you're an idiot. So I'm just saying those people who don't listen to Undead Unluck are goofs. Goodbye, Lav. Thank you for visiting me in my home.
Lav is heading out now?
Thank you for doing all these things.
This is your first time finishing a manga. Yeah, that's wild because like everything else you finished is still going. So yeah.
You read the Undead Unluck. God, it was good. And I can't believe that we're at the end. This is the end. My dearest friend, the end.
Dude, I am so excited to reread it with you all. Sorry we didn't save the final read for you, the final chapter, but guys, hear me out on this.
Feel better? We're bad kids.
We're really bad kids. For instance, the Berserk reading has been changed, and you might be like, why? Well, it's because both of us read to the exact same spot, like 8 chapters past where we were supposed to stop without thinking.
Yeah, we really
I think we need longer
and then
sections.
We talked to each other, and Drawk was like, I read way past where we're supposed to read. And I'm like, you idiot, why'd you go and do that? He's like, where are you? And I'm like, here. And he's like, you've read way past it too, to the exact same spot as me. And I was like, aw, me, idiot. Why'd I go do that?
It just felt like it wasn't done, you know? It was an accident for both of us. It's just we made the same accident, both of us, separately.
I'm sorry, Brother Onion, but we got into the porny part.
We did get to the porny part. That's true. I think I actually read one more chapter than you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. And then Lab was like, where are you? Show me a picture. And I'm like, I don't want to take a picture of the page I'm on. All right, you asked for it. Here you go.
Yeah. Dude.
And then Lab was like, that's not porn. And I was like, it is as porny as I want to get when I'm on a channel with my firstborn child.
That's true. I mean, at least it was of the porny parts, it was the less unsettling one. But that's for Berserk talk. Let's do some UU. Let's reread together. We'll go through page by page. I'll do the first one so that you get a double page to start us off.
I agree.
Guys, I just realized
the colored section is where you are, right?
Yeah, I just realized I recognize these people less when they're in color.
Oh my god, I have no idea who anyone is in color. I was like, whose shit is that?
Wait, Robot Kid's green?
All right, do this, Drawk. Rock it out. Drawk and rock. Rock and drop.
Hey, this is Juice Leo, right?
What does it matter? Just say the words, man.
Well, because she has an accent.
Oh my lord. You are...
Just to confirm,
really...
it is supposed to be today, right? No doubt about it. August 1st, 2020. Don't tell me. The bride and groom are both running late. Oh, look, your page has no dialogue. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm not reading those pages, you silly little you.
Oh, wow, you also don't get a double... Okay, wow, go for it.
I get a double page.
Well, no, because look at this. This just says one of your 2 pages just says Undead Unluck.
You know what? I brought you into this world.
I'm just pointing something out. I didn't make the page.
Something might have happened to them. Julia, fencing pro, left in charge of managing the union's investments by Fuuko. Lab members, check Fuuko and Andy's location. Victor, sports trainer, mainly supports Julia and Void. Check. We already recalled all the emblems, didn't we? Don't worry. I snuck a tracking device into their belongings. You never know with those two after all. Whoa. That's what this is. Is that even ethical? We've got permission. Well, I guess it's fine then. We know where they are. Ichiko. was on maternity leave until last year. Her daughter, Miko, wanted to go to the lab, so she has returned to work with her.
Can
Where
we
are
just
they?
briefly mention that the font they chose for those little panels sucks?
Yeah, I actually had to
It's
make it big, and even
yep,
then it was still blurs.
it's not legible. It's
It's
oh
it's so blurs.
oh
My eyes did this.
yeah.
Thank you. Where are they? We'll go pick them up. Go pick them up? From where? Lab members conducting scientific research with Julia and Fuuko's funding. Is it really that far? Mount Ararat?
Well, this is my page.
What if I read it?
Was it like this last time? Yeah, this is where winter was after all. So, I know you've been visiting memorable spots in the current world, but for what reason? Slip, grab, because I want to experience the changes to this world. Fuuko Izumo, adventurer, as my current self. I don't think it's changed. Gina Chambers, painter and Fuuko's attendant. Then again, it's fun time either way.
Sheesh. I get stealing to survive. But if you're gonna steal, steal from a guy stronger than you, while obeying the law, that is. If you want food, we've got some for you. We're real sorry, sir. And if you really can't get by, then join us. I'll be sure to work you guys to death. Andy, Developing Country Support Group, WIND, Security Force, Captain, sponsored by Fuuko Izumu. Oh, you're back. Is the medicine safe? Yep, no problemo. Looks like they stole it without even knowing what it was worth. Were any of them sick? Nah, just hungry. Rip, Tristan, Wind, medical squad leader. Good then. I'll be done here once I finish giving this guy a shot. Roger! Hey, you done over there? Yeesh. Listen, my job isn't as simple as all yours.
And there, Nico Vorgel, Wind Science Squad leader. All that's left is to get a water filtration system and it's good to go. I'll leave things to the locals. Time for the next stop? Yup. August 1st, 2020's visit is. We did it! August 1st, 2020's climb to the summit is.
Oh, I get very little words. You planned this out.
Oh, no. This is, we're doing double pages. So this is me going like, this is me going, because they're thinking. And then they both go,
Okay.
oh, I forgot about the wedding.
What? You forgot about the wedding? We were sure you were totally committed to it. Ichiko's been blowing up my phone. Apparently, all the girls are pissed. Of course it's today. We got so lost in this mountain climbing that a whole day has passed. What are we going to do? We'll never make it in time. I'm going to say they, because that's the way they could have got through this instead of saying he,
No.
she.
I think the he, she is good because it's saying that they're both saying it, and I think it works.
I know, I get it, but if they went, they are definitely late too, but he, she is definitely
I think
late
this
too.
is cuter. I think this is cute because
You know how I would have liked it?
how
If it was one bubble, it was coming out of both their sides, and they went, they're definitely late too. I'm going to the next page. It's mine. Talk about unfettered confidence. In that case, I'll get there before him, her. And I'll be the one to wear the pants in the relationship. Do you even hear yourself right now? Okay.
they're wearing
Now that
pants.
that's
They're gonna
the way,
win.
let's hurry. Sorry, I know you're planning on painting the summit. Oh, no, the painting is not a priority here. Fuuko!
We're really at the mountaintop on the day of your wedding. Don't cringe. Hurry up and grab a hold. Wow, you've grown, Tatiana. I've seen you on TV. It was absolute hell getting permission to fly here. Sorry about
You
that.
didn't do Tatiana's post thing.
Her post, you're right. Tatiana, pro model entertainer, currently on vacation in Japan.
Well done.
Come on, let's get started. Huh? Get dressed. It'll be dark by the time we get there. Get ready while you have the chance. I forgot. Rip is French. Get ready while you have the chance. Huh? Oh, wait. This is her helicopter. I thought we switched already. I misremembered. Huh? Can I even get into it? I packed on a few pounds. That's her. Oh, that was my little noise.
I know. I really enjoyed it.
The time it takes to get from here to the airport. And that's if we can get on a plane. Yeah, it's a bust. It'll be into the next day by then. Women can be scary as hell when you forget red letter days like this, you know. They hold grudges forever. Now, me, I keep perfect track of that sort of stuff. Miss Ichigo snapped when she saw you have a eureka moment on an invention while she was delivering your daughter. Huh? Really? Uh-huh. It's cute. That's cute.
Found you. We're here to pick you up. Billy! Tella, music teacher. Post-mercenary retirement. Billy, history teacher. That's amazing that they went back into being teachers.
Yeah.
Post-mercenary retirement. Creed, Air Force instructor. Mr. Creed is here too. Long time no see. Still the same line of work, eh? I retired last year. I'm a history teacher now. Creed is a drill instructor back in his country. This is his chopper. I'm giving it gas. Hang on tight. We're gonna die before we get there. It's all right. It's already night, and the food's gotten cold. To think they let your cooking get cold. Haruka Yamoka. Currently opening a chain of shoe stores called One Heart.
Aw.
Chikara Shigeno. Tatiana's exclusive cameraman. Thinking of going independent out of guilt. Top Bull Sparks, Ace Olympic track, and field athlete, One Heart's advertising model. Should I bury them? No, cut that out, please. Everyone, they're here. Oh boy. Am I ever glad? I was so worried that I'd end up not being able to get pictures of the ceremony. Well, you know how the star is always arrives fashionably late.
Sorry to keep you waiting, folks. My apologies, everyone. Wrong person. Sean Datz, actor, currently struggling to land a lead role.
Yep,
Why were you late? Filming ran long, flubbed too many takes. It's your own fault then. Hey, late group order. Engine. See, I wish I could do a Japanese accent because there's so many Japanese characters, but it's better to just not try.
Really
Engine.
is.
Roaming with the Bonka ramen cart again. Wait, but we're in England. Sorry about that. Darn Fang was being too stubborn and said he wouldn't come. Shen and Mui, married, run a kung fu fitness gym, have a pair of twins, Mao and Xiao. He said he'd come if he could eat ramen. Don't worry about it. We haven't started yet. Huh? At any rate, the only ones missing now are Feng Kowloon, founder and operator of
No one knows.
Xiaolong Men, a facility to teach children with no family simple studies and martial arts. Yusai operates self-defense dojo, considering expanding overseas. The font is so hard, I have to get so close
Awful.
sometimes. Bax, student, wants to become a plush doll maker.
That's interesting.
Kururu, retired at height of popularity, currently an idol producer. Phil, a student. Mother's research assistant. Layla Tristan, novelist, has a book deal within the year. Akira Kuno, currently serialized in a certain manga magazine. Anime adaptation coming soon. Void, current boxing heavyweight champion, doesn't plan on retiring until he loses. Lotla Tristan, resumed being a fortune teller. Oh, they're here.
Eve,
Wait,
what are they doing?
Please, it's worth it. Someone said a comment. Fang opened a dojo to beat up children.
Yep. Bam! Nothing. Why are you so darn late? You're one to talk. Hurry up and kiss. Cut the crap and say you love her. You two don't get married. Vic won't ever make up his mind, so please get on with it. Now then, let me see your finger. Huh? I mean, okay. Why are you taking a knee too? Just because? Well, whatever, Fuuko.
Will you marry me? Even if death do us part, let's always enjoy what this fate of ours has to offer. Let's.
This is the story. Next, you're going to show me your vision of justice. Roger, ma'am. Hey, you two. Of Andy Fuuko Izumo. Oh my gosh. What is this? It's so awesome. A present from all the former union members. You can ride this puppy wherever the road will take you. Wait, before that, it's the bouquet. Toss the bouquet, but toss it over that way. On it. Here, take this. And let's go.
Everyone living in this world. Wait, the thing is a story of sick, sick, wicked sick, and their quest for the greatest death ever. Hey guys, that last panel is just for me.
Oh, that last panel is just for you. The greatest death ever moment. You really had a thing with this author. You
Yeah,
and this author
yeah.
really got each
So
other.
yeah, this is a thing we talked about a little bit before starting here. Actually, let me shift the thing so we can get. Whoop. Yeah, before we
Just
started,
so
I
you know,
talked
I'm
to you
still
about this.
looking at your big head.
Yeah, no, we're in the regular mode now. Now I'm back in the corner.
Here we go.
That's me in the corner.
That's me in the spotlight.
Oh God, freaking gotta stretch. Gotta stretch. Gotta stretch. Oh,
Okay, that was the thing.
vindication. So I want to talk about that immediately before we get started. Before we decide, should we just draw? I don't want to draw them in the motorcycle. I don't know what I want to draw though.
No,
I
no,
don't.
no. What about the one where they both go, "Oh, I forgot about the wedding," and they're both standing there in the middle? It's page 11 of 27.
Okay, can do's.
Either that or falling out of the helicopter together.
Meh, I think the scene you picked is good and easier to draw. All right,
I do.
so I have been saying for a long time that whether or not they do this literally, this metatextually, and I felt like it would be literally, which it sort of was, sort of wasn't. They just more hint to it being metatextually. That this was a meta story. That the quest for the greatest death ever for fictional characters in a story that is so open about the importance of fiction to the author. That this was going to be the story of pursuing the end of their own manga. And holy fuck, that last panel felt like the author was like, "Hey, bud, just if anyone out there has been considering a metatextual reading of this work, if you've been you're thinking about it that way, I just want to let you know that you're right. You're actually correct and bye." And like, God, that's vindicating because I said to you that I feel like you were very in sync with the mind of um the authors of One Piece and Berserk, and I felt like I was very in sync with this author. And I'm glad that there's vindication to that I was right in reading into this in a lot of the right ways, because by God, that final panel just wants to let you know that this was meant to be read metatextually.
Yeah, finding the greatest death ever was a really cool way to end it. It was actually the
Mhm.
very best kind of last panel they could have done for this piece, because the idea that he knows he's going to die and he's kind of grateful for it, and so is she, because of like the long life she had to live without everyone and putting everything together, having this like they are looking to end their life in the best way possible and just live so hard that this is going to be the greatest death that's ever happened.
Mhm.
And there's also all those other parts, like they know a soul exists, they know that ghosts exist, they know that there is something strange in life like at the end, because
Well,
they were the ones who created and set up this world
mhm.
in their different things, so they know what all the laws are, which no one else will ever know for sure about these, but they know. So it's kind of cool that they get to just pursue the greatest death ever without feeling any kind of the normal angst. You know what I mean?
Huh. Man,
Because
there's
if you knew
also
for sure that souls carried on and that there was something beyond who you were, and that like ghost type things exist, wouldn't you just be like, okay, well then let's just like live
but
hard and have a great time?
but that's what I'm saying. The fact that they know there's something else, but also they say you die when you're forgotten, makes me feel like the reason we end on them holding
Oh,
their own
Ozzy
manga
O'Halloran, that's a
is,
lot. Thank you.
oh my God, thank you so much, Ozzy. It makes me feel like there's some level of they know they're a story, because at the end we see him holding the story, which is
Yes.
Anaun, but also we see this story now being published, and we see that this last chapter came out right around when 5 years ago Undead Unluck was first starting, Chad is pointing out, and it ends about in canon when Undead Unluck was starting. This is a story where they know that their story is going to be published and told and read, and that
Yes.
that leads to them, yeah, metatextually it is real. I was right. They know they're a story, and they know they get to live on as their story ends, as this is over, and as this is closed, because they get to know that there are people who will read this and live with it and carry them on and let them live beyond this death, the great death they have pursued, the end of their story. This is metatextual fiction for certain, and I love it.
Yeah. I'm I'm really like two minding this end thing. Like I'm feeling really like, do you know what I mean?
No, well, explain this.
Like I'm really feeling like a weird sense of loss at a manga being done.
Can I
The characters
jump?
exist, the characters carry on, other
Yeah,
people will read it, but
but
it
and that's what
just
it's
feels
about.
like yeah, but it just feels like when a manga is going, because all the ways I've experienced it, it's continuing to move on. So it's something that you have in your back pocket. Are you having a shitty day? Do you need a little treat? Whatever it is, I keep manga chapters as like little side hustles. Like after we're doing this, I go to the couch in a sunbeam and I
Mhm.
read my One Piece chapter for the week.
Mm,
And now this one's gone. And so there's no
but
continuing to see where the venture
okay, but
will go.
isn't there something beautiful about you get to have the first manga that you see finished that finishes with you be a series that loves that it's over, a series that is reveling in making it this far, a series that is celebrating its death, that is telling you, hey, the fact that you have read this is what I wanted. The fact that you loved my characters is what I wanted. And like that's some kind that's so beautiful to me that the first manga you got to finish is one that loves that it's over, that is so happy you were there. I don't know. I think that's wonderful.
I don't disagree. I'm just talking like I
Yeah.
understand all the whatevers about this, but on the other hand, it's just that I didn't expect to feel this sense of like, oh well, the surprise is gone.
Yeah. Um I I want to jump into something. I want to go into the story because the whole ending section, not that much more happened from where we left off last time. There was only like less than 10 more chapters, right? But what I wanted to talk about, the thing I wanted to mention was I don't cry that often while reading because like I've said, there's no music, there's no voice acting, etc., etc. And I was crying this morning while catching up because I forgot we were catching up. I forgot the order of the weeks and read Berserk to prep instead of this and then was reminded
Oh, kid, you're a
this
bad kid.
morning. So
And then we
yeah,
read too much.
then we read too much Berserk. Anyways, I was reading it this morning and catching up because I don't know why. I didn't want to read this weekly. I wanted to catch up all at once at the very end, just what I felt like. And there is something like that killed me. I was crying in the Tim Hortons lineup this morning because of when memory was activated, Ano was willing to grab the pen and become unknown again if it meant being there for everyone and seeing
Yes,
the ending through. That's
yes,
so
that
that
was
hit me so
wild.
fucking hard.
Yes,
Oh my
I
god.
I had a little weird cry moment.
Crying again.
Um,
Crying
what?
again, man. I'm crying again. Keep going.
Are you crying right now?
Yeah, I got tears right in my eyes. They're all over.
Oh, poor Muffin. You gonna
Dude,
be okay, poor Muffin?
I don't know any manga character that hits me as hard as Ano, and every time they've been involved, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
One of my very favorite parts was when you're in the chapter where everyone's freaking out and Fuuko doesn't get her memories back and everyone is like, we're gonna stay here. And then he puts his hand on her head and he goes, I've got just the plan in store, so go ahead and leave her to me. He's like, you can all rest easy, do whatever it is you've always wanted to do, and I've got this. And everyone was like, okay, catch you on the flip side. And they were standing there. as that was happening, I was just like, it just made me so happy that at the end of this story, that he was standing there feeling so grateful that he got to take care of her and solve this issue together.
Yep.
And that she got to feel like I'm a team. And then when they went and the person that they find was Soul, I
Mm.
mean, he is still not wearing a shirt. And I was like, you could put a shirt on now. Anyway,
Like, there's no
um,
reason to be shirtless anymore.
there's actually no reason. You can actually just wear a shirt now. But when they found Soul, and then he actually got to talk Soul through what it looked like to make your own choices and be the law that you are on Earth now, and what that was going to be like. And he's like, I don't have to do that. Blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm pretty sure that's why you survived. And I end up having a little cry moment with Soul, thinking about who Soul thought they were and why they were created and how it happened and why they mattered or didn't matter. And then watching him come Andy Cup and give him purpose to the shape of his existence, that made me feel a little teary. Because I felt like Soul felt like he wasn't part of the win or loss. He lost, but he still existed. He
Mhm.
was left. He doesn't know how he fits in, and he's like, so now what? And then Andy came and said, let me help you give you shape to your existence. And I thought that was really cool. I mean, I
Dude,
know it was for Fuuko, but it was still really cool.
no, I agree. It was just radical. Man,
Yeah.
oh, so much about that ending. I think why Anon gets me is the same reason why Fuuko choosing to be burnt out and have the heart be consumed meant a lot to me. Because like this series this series was so thematically precise. I feel like the goal here was to tell the specific story we wanted to tell. I mean, he did it. He got in, he got out, he told the story in 5 years. He did what Oda failed to do, which was tell the story he wanted in 5 years. And there was this idea of, oh boy, how to put this? There's an idea here from taken from One Piece, or not taken from One Piece, but they're One Piece fan. Taken from One Piece, I'll say. It's not like One Piece invented it, but the idea of like you die when you're forgotten has been taken as one of the core values the series wants to explore, the core themes. And Anna, Un, and Andy both at the end get to give their lives not just in the way we would see it as, oh, my physical body will die, but in the way that they both spiritually believe death is being forgotten by the people who love you. They both choose that for others. They both choose a complete erasure of themselves from the world, from the people they care about most, to save and protect other people. And that feels so powerful.
Yeah, this author knew what they were doing. Let's talk about the beginning of chapter 238 when they're all just standing around the cleared game. And they're like, from this point on, you are all gods. Design this world to your liking. In my final moments, that is what I wish to see. And then they're like, they just speed ran it. It was like this speed run of, okay, these are going to be the laws from now on. Let's just do it.
I also love
The
how
way
they're
it is
like,
pretty good, but we should have seen. And then he immediately goes, well, what if we rotated around the sun? And I'm like, dear God.
yeah, they're just like, mostly okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to change that much. How about this as a solution to seasons? Sounds good.
The revolution wasn't a course plunging into the planet, but a rotating around the sun at the right distance. And I was like, there's nothing else you want to get rid of? And then they're like, well, we do have war, but that seems okay.
Well, I get why they're talking about war because they're like, I feel like they're like that feels like such a big thing. They're like, yeah, if we get rid of something that big, like anything about war and violence, it'll probably cause a bunch of other effects we don't expect, which I think is very true. I think things could get very bad.
No, I didn't disagree. I just thought it was hilarious. They were like, we've moved through the world a whole bunch of times. This one seems like the right one.
I think let me do this. Yeah, but Ojed, they had to end on the right week. It was important.
Also, I love a story that ends with it being in the world I live in. That's a trope I'm here for all day.
Yeah, it's how the Terry Goodkind Sword of Truth series ends. A spoiler for a book series I'm not recommending to any of you because, you know, it's weird in so many ways. But that was how that ended, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And yeah, we get to
Don't
see it
you
here too.
mean Randy Badmean?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, his name Randy Badmean, the Randy Badmean book. Is that worth explaining? Is that joke worth explaining, do you think?
Oh, do people really care?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, meh. It was just a thing. It was just a thing in our lives. We would say when we were all reading the books together as a family and moving through.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, we just did the opposite of Terry being good and kind, and we decided instead the author's name was Randy and he was bad and mean. And so instead of calling the books by Terry Goodkind, we would just call him Randy Badmean.
Yeah, that was it. That's the bit.
It's just one of those pieces of family lore that is created by existing together.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man.
what was your favorite part of the ending in the fight?
Oh, the fight part, huh? Let me think about that. Look,
Mine is not the fight. Is it weak as shit if I was gonna say like the part that I loved is they're like, they won against the god. Oh my god, they did the game result, and then they see the center. What the hell is that? There's more? My very favorite part was game results, avoidance of Ragnarok successful. And then going through the whole thing, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking delight. The wrap up was so good. I
I I
felt
just
glad that they didn't let me down.
I love Luna's weird behavior where Luna, it feels like both wanted humanity to win and was shocked at how it was happening because wanted humanity to have a chance and surprise her. But also, when she got surprised, was like, yo, what the fuck, actually? That's not what's supposed to happen. Like, the weird middle ground of, like, yeah, you are. Oh, excuse me. What?
Phil smiling, I agree. Phil
Yeah,
smiled.
the weird mix of, like, oh, you are supposed to prove us wrong but that's not how you're supposed to do it. Like, this is supposed to be a hard choice and you're just so certain. And they're like, love doesn't work that way. You don't run out. You just feel it. Giving us
Okay,
a weapon based off of love was a dumb bitch of a move.
exactly. And the clothy moment, I was laughing because when you were talking
Oh,
about
poor
crying,
buddy.
I was like, okay, there was a moment when, you know, if you drink pop too fast and your nose gets that burny, bubbly feeling.
Yep.
My nose had a burny, bubbly feeling for clothy.
Goodbye, Clothy.
When they were like, Clothy? Hmm? Oh, yeah, I count as a Numa too. Thanks for all your help, Clothy. And then he said, I never thought I'd be warned by the person who would take down the Lord of the Sun. Luck really wasn't on my side, I gotta say. And just knowing that everything that he's saying is a lie and he's just feeling honored to have been a part of it. And and then goes, yeesh, I swear. What's a human doing crying over an Uma? And then he laughs. I was all like teary. And I'm like, I am crying about a moment when there's like a talking shirt.
A talking shirt who is in the embodiment of shirts.
Yes. And I was like, Clothy, no. And then when he said, it ain't like clothes are going anywhere, Lady Luna said it herself, didn't she? I'll remain as a law. And I was like looking at looking at my shirt and I was like, this is part of Clothy now. And
Clothy
I was
lives
just
on in
like,
all of us.
what the shit?
I guess on all of us, not in all of us.
Ridiculous. Clothy got me, man. Oh, and the wedding dress moment? I hope the both of you weave the most wicked happiness. You're damn wicked yourself, partner. Because truly, I want you to remember, like, I think we can underplay this moment, but he was on the goddamn sun for millennia,
Yep.
and Clothy was with him,
Yep.
helping him to live and survive. That was his partner for millennia.
At
And
least
as he's being forced out, he says, I hope the both of you weave the most wicked happiness. You're damn wicked yourself, partner, he says to him. I was like, oh, okay, it's happening again.
it is funny that Clothy was one of the earliest characters to join their crew. Like that is right from the beginning one of the buddies.
And that he's one of the reasons that that we won. Like a piece of him going with Fuuko.
Translators, hey guys, I'm gonna be real. Translators in general are awesome now because a lot of the people. So the reason translations used to suck for manga back in the day was because they were translated by people who only spoke formal Japanese, which and would translate formal like literature, who wouldn't really work on the cultural cues they were supposed to. And then a bunch of people learned casual Japanese because they were like, this sucks, to correct it. And now those people who learned casual Japanese to do fanlations are generally the people they hired to start the translation wings of manga companies now for import, and that's who's like training the new generation. So like translators in general tend to be pretty fucking good at what they do these days.
Yeah. The extinguishment of the negation abilities when you're watching Unback jump into Untrust's arms, just all the little things that happen in there, and you see like Unsleep immediately passes out, and you just see everything that's happening that's kind
Yep.
of trying to showcase any of the ones that they can. Unseen being unseen,
Oh god.
untouchable coming out of the bubble. Like it was really.
It's so nice. It's so nice to see them all get to be saved.
And then the line, now you can die anytime you want. Kid, I'm broken. I'm really feeling how many manga have you seen through to the end?
Um I think this is only. Let me think about that because there's a couple manga there's a bunch of manga I've seen through the end, but this is very specific, right? Because this is like a manga that you've seen through to the end that you were once reading weekly. Um,
Yeah.
because like when I think of stuff that I was reading weekly that ended, I think the only one for me is Doctor Stone because I used to read My Hero weekly, but I fell off of it. I stopped reading it. So like when it ended, I wasn't part of it. No, I read Naruto after it ended. Hey guys, this is we need to say something crazy, y'all. I know we got Naruto fans out there because y'all are everywhere, but I straight up finished Naruto just so that when Naruto fans said Naruto was better than One Piece, I could know they were wrong instead of just thinking they were wrong. And let me tell you, I know they're wrong now. But yeah, I think Dr. Stone is the only one other than this that I caught up with, stuck with, and then like read the week it finished.
Hmm. Well, I think that it's interesting. I would like to that part of this is just feels like this is also a stream about what is it like to end a weekly manga
Yeah.
um because I've read books and books are expected to end, and you generally know that even if a book is going to be a series, that there's a series of time, and when that book ends, you're like, that's kind of like really upsetting. And but it feels like that's just the way it is. The book as a whole, you finish the book. I'm sorry, but a manga feels like it has an infinite,
Mhm.
unseeable end because the author could just choose to week. You know what I mean? Like the author could be like, well, this sells, I'm doing well, I make money, and they can keep coming up with plots. So it feels like when you're week to week, it also becomes part of your schedule and it becomes part of the expectation in your life. I realized where it's just a thing that will happen, a predictable thing that will happen in your week is you will read this manga and go into that world for a little while. And when you go into that world, it opens up all the things you've already done in that world. And it's kind of cool. And then you're like, oh, that was cool. That was a neat choice. I like the choice they made there. And it allows you to predict and think and enjoy that little world for a minute. And it's just part of your everyday life. And now My routine is thrown off. I have a thing I do on Sundays. I fall into the world of Undead Unluck. I go and see what my kids are up to. I watch all the work they're doing. I enjoy it. It's part of what I like. Oh,
There's a lot of
fucking
manga
hell.
that are just starting now that we can do that for, that seem to be popular, like Kagurabuchi. There's a ton of
Yeah, and like for sure we can do that. But I just realized how very interesting it is because if something is in your life, and this is why, like, I think
Mm.
that there's literally going to be therapists, and people are going to be afraid to say it, but there's going to be therapists for people with One Piece because
Oh yeah, no, it's One Piece is gonna
when
be
something is
dead
so
to us.
much a part of your existence that you just literally it comes out Sunday, you read it, you fall into that world, you think about the people, the places, the ideas. Well, for some of you now, it's been 20 fucking years.
Yep.
And so you take something that has been a Sunday part of your life for that long and you remove it, that's going to be
Dude,
like therapy level ouchy
dude,
sadnesses.
I will tell you, I occasionally tear up, no lie, just thinking about something. I'm gonna show you something. You
Okay.
never watched the One Piece anime. That was never your thing, so you don't know this. But I'm gonna show you a
I
thing.
want to watch the whole thing.
You should.
I wanted
You
the
can do that bit
squishies
by
to
bit
watch.
with whatever.
I wanted the squishies to watch
It's
with me in the behind scenes.
you can't watch it all on stream. It's too much.
I think I could. I think you're wrong.
But I'm gonna bring something up so that you can see what I'm talking
A
about.
manga only dies when it's forgotten, people.
Yes, which is actually thematically what this last chapter was about, which is beautiful.
Exactly.
Um, we are talking about Yu, but like hear me out. Every episode of One Piece ends with this screen. Okay, take a look at her.
Yeah.
Behold her beauty.
Yeah, I've seen it even in the ones I've watched.
Yeah, and I sometimes think about the fact that this font, in its cheesy ass '90s colors and spacing, is one day going to say the end, and I tear up. This font is going to say the end one day.
Oh,
And I'm not okay with that.
nope.
Like I just think about this silly font saying the end and it hurts. It's ho
Yeah, because it is going to been such a
ho
deep and
ho
long lasting part of
ho.
your life. So if they're ending in 2032, I by then will also feel devastated because I feel pretty wazzy about the end of Undead Unluck. I feel
It's
pretty
tough.
wazzy about it.
I think it's genuinely helpful for me how much this series celebrates getting to end. Celebrates
I think they did
getting
a
to
really
tell
good
your
job
story.
celebrating death in general,
Yeah,
and that this is a type of death,
yeah.
and that the author got to choose and to have a good death. Like the manga ended the way the author wanted.
That's all so beautiful. Like that I think is so helpful for me just being okay with it because it's like, yeah, this is it. This is how it ends. Um,
And yet, regardless, I'm just feeling the big feels. Like I agree. I agree with all of that. And yet, the big feels are there for me.
so for the people saying that Toei is gonna milk One Piece forever, though, you need to remember something that like that's true. But if you're watching Dragon Ball Daima right now, it doesn't change the fact that Dragon Ball ended. Like Dragon Ball Daima is good, but Dragon Ball is still over. There's just an anime that's using the characters. Like it's not the same.
Hey, Roxanne said they made a PowerPoint for us.
A PowerPoint, Roxanne. What? What does that
What does that
mean?
mean?
What does that mean?
What does it mean that you made a PowerPoint for us? I don't even, what
Like,
does that mean?
what does that
Huh?
mean? It's in the UU chat. What is this?
Oh,
What is this? What do we do?
in the, well, that's interesting. Let's go have a peeks. Where did Roxanne put the said PowerPoint? Um,
Oh,
do you think that the series would have been better with a more detailed fight? No, I don't.
how do I
I
do
didn't need
this?
them to fight the master rules. I think the fight in itself was amazing, and the whole point of it was that
Mm,
moment with Fuuko's heart, realizing
yeah,
that Fuuko's heart was that last
yeah.
artifact,
It's
and it needed to be so that that whole love thing was the key. And I was so proud of the author for not fucking around and finding out and just saying, no, this is the point of this manga.
Because the whole thing about this manga is it's not the fights are never impactful for the fights. They're impactful for the characters. And this manga is so great at it being consistent with that. And the whole point here was that it wasn't about what strategy they used and it wasn't about what like secret plans they had. It was just about who they are as people and their bond. And even as the Unluck is bleeding out of her and destroying everyone around her, they're all so committed to saving Fuuko. And that's great. That's great that like that's what mattered to all of them the whole time. And that's what gives them access to the heart, and that Fuuko's heart is the weapon. Um okay, should we put the PowerPoint on screen? What do we do with a PowerPoint someone
Because I was
gave us?
trying to download it, but
I'm uploading it to Google Slides because I don't have
oh my
PowerPoint.
god, do it, do it,
I'm telling you,
do
if
it.
this doesn't work, because sometimes PowerPoints don't work on Google Slides, we don't have an option because oh my god, this is so weirdly detailed. This is insane. Okay, we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Bring it, bruh.
A hastily made PowerPoint by Roxanne and Nico. Okay, so um all right, fam. I'm this is ridiculous. I need to add this in somehow. Okay. Y'all, this is great. This has been months in the making. Why are you saying it's hastily made then?
You're
Oh
saying,
no, someone
y'all,
else
this
did.
is great, since Roxanne is the one that goes on every one of our episodes of everything and says, y'all, this is great, or y'all, this is. I can't remember. What did we
I've
say
been
to
robbed.
say?
Bing, bing, give me.
Yeah, I got robbed. Don't worry about it. That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. I'm not good at Streamlabs as a UI. Give me a second here. Ah, I clicked the wrong button. Don't worry, we'll get it for sure this time.
Ah, it's
This
a
time,
me, Mario. I
this
click in
time,
the wrong
for
button.
sure. For sure, for sure. Where the fuck are you? Window
Have you tried
capture.
dancing?
I guess we'll add the die roller in. Wait, that's the wrong one.
Every single time I look at Constipated Genius saying kind things to people with the name Constipated Genius, I think
Yep.
it's adorable as shit. Okay,
All
carry
right.
on.
Is this visible? Let's see. I've clicked
I
full
see it.
screen. No, because I'm doing a thing. It worked. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Team, are we ready?
Oh
The
God, what a
boy. Oh,
treat!
the boy ran out of the room. I'll pet him when he gets back, but we got to do this. Things
What
we
a treat!
wanted to share. While they are all amazing, might be a few details some you can miss. Volume covers. As I'm making this, we have 25 volumes released, which gets us into Ragnarok 2. Remember when I called it Ragnarok 1 and people were like, "You're being ridiculous"? Remember that?
Oh my God!
Hey, Roxanne, you fucking called it though. Personally, hope Tezuka will have a callback to this cover for the final volume cover. Well, you got it. You got your wish. So
You got your wish.
that's 100% what happened. Andy is holding Remember. This is the volume when Victor starts to fight. Interesting.
Oh.
Oh, wait. We got to Ragnarok 1 the moment Ragnarok 2 started, and I was just that's funny that I was calling it that early. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know it had started. I thought we were a week away or two, and everyone was just
Look at
shitting on
these
me.
gorgeous covers.
These are beautiful. I like 8 especially. I think 8 might be my favorite so far.
I don't know if 8 is my favorite. I would love to rate them.
Oh, 9. Oh, a tier
Oh,
list of these would
10.
be great, honestly.
Look at
10's
10.
really cool. I really like 9 too. 9 feels like a romance manga. Oh, wow, 11. Holy shit. Okay.
Okay, 11 is wicked sick.
Starting from
but
11, the volume spines went from white to black, matching the story shift when Fuuko dies. Very subtle, but you can see Fuuko's reflection and Remember. Oh,
you can. Right there.
Crazy how there was a memory card inside in this the whole time and we didn't. That's great. 13 so angsty.
13 is angsty, but so is 14. Look at his
14
determination.
14 looks like a movie poster, like an action movie.
It kind of looks like
Too
one
many
of the One
details to
Piece.
count, so this parallel you may have missed will have to
These are
do.
interesting covers.
Aww.
Oh, 15. That makes me a little cry, actually.
Hey, look, it's Bunny.
People are obsessed
Oh,
with the
the
goo.
small details are on every volume, but have been removed from all the English versions. The Japanese
my
version
God.
of all the volume names on the covers. Interesting.
That's
Oh,
wild.
okay. Oh, 16 is cool as hell.
I've seen 16 and I love 16. Why did
That's
they say
great.
16?
Probably because you were checking in on Viz and it was being recommended to you. Current favorite volume cover is 16.
Cute.
I really do. See, again, this author has my sensibilities because pink and blue is my. Oh, I mean, you can tell I have a whole frame for it.
Obviously.
So, yeah.
I
17
really
is
like
cool.
10 right now because 10 is so different for me that I really like that.
Your wife? No.
18 is cool as shit.
I honestly love
19
19.
is very different too.
19 would be in my top. That'd be A tier for me if we were ranking these.
I think 10 is so far. Yeah, Rafe.
Oh,
that's
20,
mine.
21's my favorite. Holy
Oh,
shit.
21. Look
20
at
is
you,
so good
21.
too, though. Holy
But
fuck.
20 is such a good thing with it being a
Yeah.
picture. Like, come on, that's
Oh, these two
great.
are both compositionally so strong. Oh,
Look
I
at
didn't
my
see the
butt.
text on that one. Let's go back. Shen holding Fang in place using untruth. Oh, that's so cute. Ishin is calling for Haruka while she's chilling in the front. Where? I don't see Ishin.
Right there at the bottom, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because she's a baby still. I forgot they were
Yeah.
going to jump 20 years in the future.
Yeah. Bebe. That's how we say it in the Canada.
That's for sure.
Bebe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beast looks so cool on 22. Language looks so
22
good
is
on
the
23.
colors are crazy.
Here's the issue. I feel as though they fucked up by having language in her baby form on the cover because the adult form is cooler looking.
Why did things turn out this way? 23 is wicked too. I really like Babel with language, but 22 has got something sick going on with those colors.
Radical. He started to shift into different color usage for sure.
He decided, I think I'll do what I want.
24 is really good.
Yeah, that's lovely. 10 is still it for me. 25 is cool. I love that back with sun in the center.
Oh, wow. I feel like he changed the way he was doing it entirely in Loop 2. Like the composition structure became different and more ambitious, and I think that's a cool shift to have.
He was like, this is all for this one, and now we switch in Ragnarok too.
One last one to look forward to. Rip cover pages.
Oh!
Aww. Dr. Rip.
Oh!
Moon is there on 25? Wait, let's go back to 25. We're supposed to go back 25 because Moon is there. Oh, Moon is there on the bottom. Moon and Sun are opposited. That's great. Okay, now we go forward.
Yeah, that was a wise choice. I love that. The yin and the yang of the whole piece. Well, that one was
this poll. Okay. So number 1 was Andy. Wrong. Sorry. Number 2 was Fuuko.
Wrong.
That's
number
the second
1
best.
is Fuuko.
Number 3 is Anno still? Anno still? Yeah, that's
I can't
fair.
see any of those.
This is from 2021. This is from 2021.
Just so you know, Drawk, we start to see at 11 on screen.
No. Yeah, you can look at the image. The
image itself. Thank you
the
very much.
image itself has 1 through 10, which is why it starts at 11 on the right.
Thank you for helping me use my brain.
Yeah. No. I'm for sure. This is from 2021. 4 was Shen in 2021. Fair enough. 5 was Julia. Also fair. Yeah. Honestly, most of these rankings
Fuuko should be 1. Fuuko should be 1, 1, and 1.
Yeah, then... Fuuko should be 1, then Andy. That's the only thing wrong with this. Bax, how did how did Bunny get number 11? That's crazy.
That's people are wild about fucking a
Okay,
goo.
so this was the third popularity poll, but the second character one because the second was
Oh,
a
look at
shipping poll.
Fuuko's won. Fuuko's won.
Hell yeah, my girl claimed her spot. You know what? Early on,
Go
I guess it made
Fuuko.
sense.
It's your birthday. Well, on my birthday week, Fuuko, but you can have
Dude,
some of
wait.
me.
This far in the series, Anno's still number 4? Fuck yeah, that's
Wild.
crazy. Anno had a lot of impact with everybody, I guess, because Anno had barely been in. Like, it had been a fucking while, dude. That's
Strange
radical.
thing that people were so squished into that.
Like, Anno was in for like a couple panels at the end of Ragnarok. That's crazy that they're still number
I
4.
feel bad for Sean being 21. I'm not gonna lie.
Sean, so funny.
I'm sorry,
I
Sean.
don't.
That's
That's
actually
funny.
that's a little upsetting for you.
Tella has a dedicated fan base is such a right thing to say when he's somehow number 7 as just the quiet guy. He's just a quiet boy. How is he number 7? That's crazy. I I honestly love that the author clearly knows how silly it is that Tella's number 7 because you see everyone else on page 2 razzing Tella like, "Yo, number 7. Check out Big Man." Oh, a pairing poll. Okay, so it's all sorts of pairs. I get you.
All right, next.
That's so fucking funny that they're okay. This poll happened January, February 2024 is our most recent. Of
Yeah,
course,
Fuuko.
Andy fell to number 5, which makes sense. He'd barely been in the manga. Like he was gone. He was
Andy was
cooked.
still my number 2. Everyone can beat me
Yeah, I agree,
because
but it makes sense.
Andy never left my number 2.
Julia number 4, Tatiana number 2, number 3. The fact that our boy has risen from like so far
God, look at
down. Fang has risen to number 3. I mean, it makes sense. He killed it towards the end of the series, but that's crazy that he's number 3 still.
Sean. He's number 7.
Sean is number 7. Sean, rising up, dude.
Go Sean. You made the biggest rise. You should have got
Damn.
to be on that page. You were sold out, brother.
Tella fell to number 7, or sorry, number
Wow.
9 from number 7. Censor Bar and Tozuka lore. Okay. Tozuka replaying Elden Ring, prepare for the DLC. Only leveling up strength, power is everything. Fuck yeah. Drew sketches for every episode of the anime. Also, fuck yeah. What the fuck? Fun fact: the censor bar referred to as seaweed is in every early chapter as a running gag. That's cute.
Oh my god, that's
Wonder
cool.
when that stopped. People are saying that it was always in, but then it very clearly stopped eventually. But that's great. Referred to as seaweed. Oh wait, Tozuka's avatar is just literally Fuuko with funny disguise glasses.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so something. Did you know that every mangaka has a little avatar they draw themselves as?
Really? Is that a common thing?
Yeah. They have like a little sona they use to talk to their fans, and it looks like
Oh,
theirs is just a Fuuko with disguise glasses, which is adorable.
that is adorable.
Well, okay, so it looks like the one he
Oh
uses in
yeah, Oda
Shonen
has a
Jump
fish
is the
head.
beanie with arms and legs, but it definitely seems like when he's doing extended bits, it's Fuuko with disguise glasses. The dress Fuuko wears to Rip's wedding is the same one she wore when she first met him in Latla.
Oh,
Oh, that's a cute little detail. This is a good PowerPoint.
it's a
Thank you.
wonderful detail.
Oh, it's a her. I always thought it was a. I've been referring to Tezuka as a male person. I apologize, Tezuka. 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 It is an A. I'm so bad at
Are you
names,
talking about the
y'all.
bunny? A goo?
Oh, they are male. Okay, never mind. I misread a chatter. We're fine. Everything's good. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. Next page. More than meets the eye. Sean, more than meets the eye. Sean's your favorite character, says Roxanne. Crazy. Like other.
Sean more than meets the eye.
Actually, they're. I mean, technically true because nothing meets the eye is the whole bit. Like other UU characters, Sean's negation power plays into himself and his character. Well, he may be the unseen negator. Excuse me. He's a character who constantly sees other characters what they need. He's the one who reaches out to Chikara and shows them the truth, bringing him into the fold and allowing him to make his own choice in regarding to the union. He's also the one who's able to connect to Phil and help him start to understand feelings. Aw, note, try to make this short as possible while also making my case. I think you did a good job. Sean caring for Phil.
Let's do a thing. I'm going to put it here. We don't have to do it now. We can do it when this is over. It's a
Yes.
better idea. But when it's over, I want you to tell me, after obviously our 1 and 2,
Yeah.
who's the strange one that you have a strange affinity for?
Look, it's Ano. Do I have to pick someone else?
You dummy. Now you've given it away. Do you want to know mine?
Who's that?
Rip.
Oh, that makes sense.
Rip is my people. I have a really weird affinity for Rip.
No, Ano hits me. I've teared up from random panels with Ano twice now. Like, Akira's story kills me in a deep way. It's fucked. Sean is one who sparked a connection to Phil, helped him start contextualizing the meaning of feelings, bridging the gap with the connection they share, the parents they love. Aww. Sean is very kind.
He is very kind.
Often offering comfort and friendship to others, and is one of the most reoccurring characters in Loop 101, appearing in most arcs, often in fun antics in the background. Makes the series feel more alive for me and more fun. A fun perk to rereading the series, finding all the little stuff that goes on in the background, which he has been involved in. His friendship with Gina and Chikado is one of the best dynamics for me in 101.
No
Carrying
yawning.
Phil I'm trying my best. Note how he's the first to reach
Right.
Phil to check on him, carrying Phil on his shoulders at a meeting in the Union, checking on Chikado's parents. Aww. I love all the bunnies that have been inserted in fucking every page. Sean is constant on the front lines about being very afraid when he first joined the Union. He's grown to be a very brave character and is in most arcs on the battlefield, helping other characters get around unseen, and is at times the one running around the background getting important stuff done, like Sanji. Sean is constantly involved throughout the 101. He's an important factor in the War Space School Sick Idle Ragnarok 2 arcs, as well as helping out during the Unburn and Julie arcs. He's almost always in the background or playing some type of role, and is always offering a helping hand when he can. He goes from rather nothing villain to one of the most consistent Union members in 101. It's one of the 4 negators shown when starting the challenge against the Master Rules, and all 4 pictured are vital in the final fight. Gina stole a bite of Sean's muffin when he wasn't looking, so he stole a bite back by using Unseen. Okay, number 1, we see her steal a bite of the muffin. Number 2, he realizes the bite has been stolen. Number 3, invisible chomp. Number 4, wiping his mouth. Oh my god, that's so good.
That's
I would never have noticed that. That's so good. Okay, so they're defending the characters that we pick on, and they're defending Phil. Look, Phil is fine. It's just like it's not our favorite. It's one of
Phil's whatever.
Phil's fine.
Bye, Phil.
Phil might have much page time, but he was still able to leave a lasting impression on some readers. For Quinn from our Discord server, he's an autistic coded character they connected greatly to. Phil Hawkins' Unfeel is brilliant subversion. Excuse me? I did not get a lot of sleep. I am trying to move away when I need to yawn. He's robotic, both physically and in how he's perceived. He's a child, both in his lack of knowledge and his age, but he's human, whose emotions are more intense than others, despite not being like those of others. When he's treated just as a kid, that's presented as the wrong way to approach it.
Face, we shouldn't read these big long pages. We should read the shorter pages and leave the big long pages for our squishies in the chat.
What do you mean?
Well, because reading all of them the whole way through.
It's long, you're right. Well, but I feel like we need to listen to the vid. Someone put all this work in.
Listen to me when I tell you, I'm going to go through this with a
Phil is an empathetic boy who shows that Suzuka understands autism.
We should still go through all of the pages, but we shouldn't just read everything.
Well. Oh, fuck. I accidentally hit the button. I hit the button. Oh my god. We have to go back.
They're gonna back, you jerk.
I hit the button by accident. They're gonna defend a goo next. Wait, I can skip this one, Roxanne. They're saying it's almost done. So I think we read it then. If we're almost done, we read it.
I want to see a goo's little world.
Phil knew his mother was concerned about him. I'm gonna skim this. Give him something associated with making people happy. Young child lived all his life. Could carry on string, make Kratz cradle for his mom. Realizes he's worried and stressed despite putting a happy front. He was able to read the emotion, know she needed to pick me up. Good understanding of emotions, can read others and tell when they are distressed despite being an isolated child. This is all true. Creepy. He's still a creepy robot.
And he's no rip.
Oh my god. The great, the amazing Agoo. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Here's the thing. We kept expecting Agoo to do something crazy because, like, you guys kept getting mad at us for being like, what the fuck is up with this child?
Believe how much everyone loves a goo. Like, I'm happy to be here for it, but come on now.
Agoo suit is called Can't Pronounce That, which is a reference to a Gundam short. In Loop 100, Agoo wanted to mimic Latla as much as she could and had Rip cut her bangs so they'd be styled like Latla's forever because Rip cut them. Oh my god. In 101, her hair had been cut to match both Latla and Layla, having Layla's bangs and Latla's ends. That's funny.
That one's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie.
Agoo is roughly one Agoo in height. Why is roughly spelled like that? And one Agoo
You
in
just
weight.
use a goo as a measuring
Small
stick
as
for a
one
goo.
baby Agoo. She is young, so she can't spell is such a good note. We just memed with Bunny because you guys are making fun of a small child, and it was insane and funny for us. Sorry for making you think she did something grand. For the most of fandom, she's just a cute child who died brutally and just wants to be with her
The
big
goo
siblings
became
and
a weird
parents.
freaking fixation because we were like, this kid sucks. And then everyone was like, oh no, now you're in it.
Okay,
That's amazing.
the only reason Agoo was how Agoo was because we struggle to come up with closing segments when we first start a manga and we don't know its vibe. So because One Piece loves unlikable characters, we had least favorite character, assuming there'd be characters we're not supposed to like. So Agoo was all we had, and we didn't realize that's not the vibe of the series. But that's so fucking funny that it led to this meme in the community of being like, "You
Just
hate
telling you,
Agoo?"
the fact that we have our own meme on our show for this is amazing. And that they've been like gaslighting us this entire time. I'm here for that.
Okay. Here's my thing. I genuinely don't know if is it confirmed in like a data book that Lucy is a negator, because I almost thought it was possible that like that was just a thing that he was saying to make her feel better because it wasn't made clear to me. But no, the fact that when she was absorbed in with her soul it made Seal sick is a negator. Never mind, it would have to be. Okay, it was confirmed in extra volumes. Cool. Because I felt like it could be either way, but I was leaning towards this is a real negator. She's included in Remember. Okay, so it's confirmed. I missed that. Lucy is the only negator from Loop 100 that had no appearances in Loop 101 besides appearancing in the Remember activation. If she appears, then the joke's on you. Did not appear. Congrats, Wex, if your girl came back. Sorry, Wex, did not. Second note, final chapter came out. So sorry, Wex. For the past several months, a Twitter user within the UU fandom has been betting on Lucy showing up on each new chapter. They have not had much luck in their wish to see her again. Bye, Lucy. Sucks to suck. Guys, I'm telling you, sick appearing on the earth killed Lucy. It's sad. That's not true because she was shown in the Remember thing. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Please. Guys, no. Guys, no.
We tried summoning her. This is hilarious.
Wex. December 22nd, 2024. Tezuka, I know you want to start 2025 with a banger, Tezuka. I know who could come back for Tezuka. It would be pretty cool, Tezuka.
This is amazing.
I love the fact that every fictional character, no matter how small, has someone that's a huge fan of them. Please reply with your favorite. That's so true. I can't remember them offhand, but I have some characters who I just fucking adore for no. I know one of them. Fire Emblem Awakening, Vake. Vake from Fire Emblem Awakening. I cannot describe to you a good reason for liking Vake as much as I do. Do you have a fictional character that you're fucking in love with for no good reason?
In manga, Puck.
Anything, any fiction.
Okay, well, in manga, it's Puck.
True.
I would have to think about it a bit, but there's often times that I love a character and then I'm really pissed off because the the person doesn't make them big enough, and I'm like, don't you see what a great character you have here? Sam Fisher, why did you put a question mark on Puck? Puck hasn't come back since the freaking golden age. It's just done. And like, he was the very best. Maybe he'll become bigger later on.
There was a
Maybe that's why
theory
there's
Lucy would be a negator of
maybe he
soul.
becomes bigger again, and that's why I'm getting a question mark.
Undead Unluck ran from January 20th, 2020 to January 26th, 2025. I'm so glad
Oh
this
my
is the series y'all
God.
chose to read for the next manga, and that you both got to be here for the ending. Undead Unluck has become one of my favorite series, and while Niche has grown its own little community, we still have the anime ahead of us, so Undead... Okay.
Pause.
Okay?
Frickin'
Pause.
Mihawk. He's never frickin' in.
That's not a Niche favorite. Mihawk is beloved.
He's niche. He's niche until
Mihawk?
Oda finally recognizes his supremacy.
Mihawk is beloved.
Yeah, but he's never in. He's tiny.
Yeah, because his personality is I don't wanna.
Get over it. Carry on.
That's not niche though. Vake is niche. Vake is niche as hell. Look, I played a Lady Robin when I played that game. How many Lady Robins do you think married Vake? That was not a common choice, and I did it. That's my boy.
You're weird.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's why I'm saying it. It's a weird character with no good reason to love them that I fucking adore.
Would you call the wizard in Stardew Valley niche?
Yes. That's incredibly niche.
I'm
I know
in
so
love with
many
the wizard.
people. I know so many people obsessed with Stardew Valley. I didn't know there was a wizard, and I hear them talking about their
I'm in
fucking
love with the
blorbos
wizard.
all
The
the
wizard
time.
is my very favorite character in that whole game.
I hear that fits the vibe entirely because I hear Stardew Valley fans talk about their blorbos fucking nonstop. I know the blorbos. I hear them going off about Emily. I know this shit. I haven't heard a single one of them mention Rasmodius the wizard, who's
They're
apparently
wrong.
named Rasmodius.
Rasmodius is the greatest character there is.
Yeah, Marguerite from Amazon Lily. Absolutely. That's more niche.
I don't like Marguerite, though.
Yeah, but someone in our chat does. We still have the anime ahead of us, so Undead Unluck is not completely over just yet, as well as a third light novel on the way as well. Thanks for reading, Roxanne. Thank you, Roxanne. These were great little
that
details.
was amazing. Claps.
Because, well, why I actually really appreciate this, I'm just going to say, I don't have... there's not like a YouTube community around this series yet, right? So I don't have like a constant feed of all these fun facts. I know so many things because I have One Piece stuff on the background all the time. I have so many things I know about One Piece, but like we're making some of the Undead Unluck content to exist
We're
online.
making that background that people can look at. We're here with our squishies creating it.
Yeah, this reading of a PowerPoint is some of the internet's content about these little fun facts and details. So I am so glad you put this together for us that we can actually know this.
It's so cool. What a cool thing to have here.
I just realized I'm not gonna have a finished drawing at the end of this, which makes sense because I've barely spent any time today drawing.
Well, we were reading and then we were reading some more. So
yeah, this was such a cool ending.
I was really worried because, like I told you, I didn't expect to have the big emotions that I ended up having, but I really was worried about how it was going to end to make sure that it was going to do it justice for something that I think had been one of the coolest things I've read. I don't think you have to add a straw hat according to Rafe's Revenge.
Why?
I don't think that I expected this to be one of my favorite pieces of work, and it is. Like once Fuuko took over and it became Fuuko's jam.
Yeah.
I was just like, this story has taken such a turn. I'm so sad that people aren't in love with it the way they should be. I hope it gets the love and it pops off and goes viral because god damn, this is good.
Maybe we go out of our way to do to invite Jackie on and do an episode about Fuuko, and we can have like a clickbaity thumbnail where we say the best shonen protagonist ?
Yeah.
Because
I think
I want to clickbait.
We should.
I want to clickbait people into engaging with Undead Unluck more because it deserves the attention. Like
it does.
Absolutely.
That's a great clickbait. That's a great excuse for clickbait, in my opinion.
Yes. Look, if you're going to clickbait, first of all, I think we can back it up because I think there's a very good argument that she is the best, that Fuuko is the best shonen protagonist. And I never thought I would consider someone above Luffy. And like, she's incredible.
Yeah.
Fuuko's amazing.
I think about just randomly when I'm laying in bed because I listen to the Calm app. I often have people in my head that I don't need in my head. But every once in a while when I'm laying there, I think about the moment that Fuuko took over and the beginning of her putting together her plan. And I just lay in bed laying the plan out and being like, oh God, that was brilliant.
When we're
And I
done
love
this,
this.
when we're done this plug, I want to talk a bit more about that and with the ending and something beautiful about this
Okay.
series.
Hey there, everyone. I got an idea. You should subscribe because it's kind and it helps us out. It costs you nothing. It doesn't do anything to you. I've subscribed to so many things you can't even imagine, and my feed is just fine. Also, you forgot to press like, so just go ahead there and move the thing
Yeah, how'd
down
you
and give
forget
that
that?
a click.
That's you'd think you'd remember.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you didn't have enough peanut butter in the morning, and so you forgot to press like. So get that done now. And come and join us. We are going to have on here soon on YouTube. You're going to get an opportunity to hear Teching 101 when they came with us for One Piece's Party Piece. It's an amazing, awesome thing we do. I want to give a shout out to the patrons. I love you, patrons. You kick ass. Thank you so much for being a part of our world and for supporting us. You kick ass. Do you want to pick a patron while I'm moving on, and then you can say the patron?
I always forget we do it at this point. Yeah, give me a second. You keep going, and I'll be
Keep
I'll
going.
be hitting you up with the
If
patron soon.
you are this far in and you're hearing us pop off about Undead Unluck, but you've never watched it and you're just listening to us because you're like, I don't know, I have nothing else to do, and the
That's
Drawks
crazy,
are
but
weird
yeah.
and sometimes I enjoy them, then I highly recommend that you give this a go. I'm gonna convince Drawk that we need to do a show called "You Should Read Undead Unluck," or
Yeah, but I
you
don't.
suck.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sell it. Because that's why I think we do something with Jackie because we got to have a way to get
Yeah,
people
I think we bring
invited
Jackie on,
in.
who was the voice actress for Undead Unluck. And then finally come and join us if you're a Patreon. I'm gonna be starting to play games and streaming. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
streaming the Untitled Goose Game. I got set up and I'm gonna be
Whoa,
streaming Outer Wilds.
Untitled? Is this Goose and a Gator?
Listen to me when I tell. Can we put a goose on the screen right now? The problem with me and the the Untitled Goose Game is my language. I apologize in advance for my language issue. All right, never mind. Plug over. Listen, I am really nervous about people watching me. Am I allowed to just swear and swear while I'm playing my games?
Yeah, you're allowed to curse while gaming. People do it all the time.
Like, how much cursing is too much
So
cursing?
can I tell you what happened here?
What? What are you doing? Why do I have goosebumps up there?
So what happened was you said, "Can I get a goose on my screen?" And I was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if I just typed goose and hit enter and I grabbed literally the first image that showed up?"
And now Frugal looks like she's shocked by goosebumps. She's part of this. She's part of this cover. You
Yeah,
should add her
yeah.
right in the top hand corner.
I googled goose, it auto completed to goosebumps, and this was the first image I saw. So this is what I put up.
Ridiculous. Fugo has a mustache. That's not a mustache. Those are
mouth.
whiskers. Fugo's a cat.
She doesn't have whiskers.
I can see them right there next to her mouth where the mustache is.
What? What the fuck are
Yeah.
any of you on about?
The mustache
Those are
slash
teeth.
whiskers. Not those, the blue things above her mouth.
Oh, that's just sketch lines.
Yeah, for a cat.
This is literally just sketch lines.
You heard it here, kids. Fuko was a cat all along. I'm pretty excited to play the Untitled Goose Game, but I'm pretty nervous to play the Outer Wilds. I've tried to lift off a thing and land it. I just don't know where the shit it's supposed to land. I
Dude,
could do it, but I don't know where it's supposed to go.
You are in a way better place to game stream than me because I'm not good at video games and I'm part of a demographic that people would assume to be good at video games. Because you are part of a demographic people would not assume to be good at video games, you are going to get more leeway than I would get.
You know, I don't give a shit about the leeway though. When I'm crashing over and over again, if people are going to make fun of me, you know what I'm going to tell them?
What?
Shut up. I'm just playing a fucking game. Get over it. When I suck, I suck. Bite me. You know what? Eat a sponge. That's what I'm gonna say.
You're
What
gonna
do you
say
think?
eat a sponge? That's rude as
You heard
fuck.
me. Eat a sponge, and I mean it. Eat a sponge.
You have to get over it with Bennett Foddy, they're saying. So you should play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Okay, but I'm still gonna tell him to eat a sponge, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Being bad at games is going to be my brand. I'm gonna do it the same way that I do every game. You know that, right?
What's up? What's that? What's your plan?
Play hard, suck big, and then suddenly be perfect.
Okay, that's a good plan.
That's how I did Gran Turismo.
True.
I
Dude,
played hard, crashed into
I
walls and spun in circles.
I have Undead Unluck comments I want to make here.
Okay, could I hear them?
Yeah, so I felt as though the ending was perfect for our characters for a specific reason, which is that we have characters who have like a codependent love. Like Rip, Latla, and Layla are never apart, right? They are with each other all the time. And every moment that they can be, Ichiko and why did the scientist name Nico are always near each other, right? But Andy and Fuuko spent hundreds of years comfortably apart, knowing that they could be doing their own thing and still love and trust each other and that everything would be fine and they were never like emotionally distant from each other despite that distance. I mean, Andy spent billions of years apart from Fuuko in that way. So at the end, them doing their own thing and forgetting about each other, but coming together out of their love is just kind of beautiful because they aren't characters who have that like, and it's not like the series condemns that codependence, that needing to be around each other. It's just these are characters that are so comfortable with loving each other that yeah, even on their wedding day, they've accidentally separated pursuing what they think is important. For Fuko seeing the world and for Andy helping people.
To point out that for one of them, it was something that was important, and like Fuko did nothing except for what was important for a long time. But in Fuko's case, it was something that was just important to her. And
Mhm.
I think that was really good because so many times female characters, they're like, you have to be taking care of someone else or making the world better for others. You don't get to just pursue your own bliss or your own goals selfishly. And this one just said, screw you. Fuko's pursuing something that she's wanted to do. And
Mhm.
I was overjoyed for that because they didn't make her be a character that had to be like she's helping everyone and da 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 da. Meanwhile, we had Andy out there helping everyone, and that was the thing that he was doing, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine. Fugo got to help herself do a thing she wanted to do, and the whole world survived.
Man, I have no idea how I got here. I have no
Okay.
idea. But if Undead Unluck becomes more popular, I just thought of what would be a fun what if series to do.
Okay, weirdo. That's fine.
I
Do
have
it.
where Fuko, instead of time traveling, gets a chance to go through another loop in terms of starting a manga over, and just a what if conversation about what happens if Fuko goes to fix the dark backstories of other manga characters.
Just like any manga character from any manga.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Could Fuko fix Berserk?
Oh my god. I only want him to fix Guts. Quite honestly, if she could kill Griffith but fix Guts, that'd be nice. Cuz I'm not going to lie, I'm not really into Griffith. Griffith is just not my bag.
Fuko
Should be.
fixes One Piece.
Should be my bag, isn't. I would like to see Fuko
Fuko save Planet Vegeta is so funny to me.
Vegeta.
No. No, not that Vegeta.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Vegeta the guy. Vegeta the planet. Named after Vegeta the King, who's a different guy.
I'm not interested in that one. I'm only interested in things that are over 9,000.
Well, there's probably over 9,000 Saiyans on planet Vegeta. Yeah, tell Guts not to
Okay.
leave.
I can't believe. Am I alone in the world? I don't know enough about the outside world because we haven't been doing it. Are people huge Rip fans? I think Rip is the coolest thing
He
that's
wasn't
since
that
sliced
high on
bread.
the popularity poll, if I remember.
I didn't see him very high, and yet for me, Rip is the one. Like,
You're the
Rip is the
huge
one whose
Rip.
backstory made me the most upset. Rip is the one whose character development I find most interesting. He's the hottest. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me think. What are I mean the hottest character probably is just Fuuko, tragically.
Like, Dr. Fuuko. Come on. Obviously, Fuuko's the hottest.
Yeah.
Rip is my next hottest. And
Okay.
then Andy.
Fuuko fixes Arcane. I mean, look, if you watch Arcane, it is basically proven in the series that the difference between a fixed Arcane and a bad Arcane is literally one letter being delivered. Of course, Fuuko can fix Arcane. She has to deliver a singular letter or kill one child. That's actually what did it in Arcane, is a child died. You kill
Andy
one
can kill.
child and Arcane is fixed.
Let's let Andy kill them.
Yeah, Andy, you got to go fix Arcane. Go kill Violet. It's actually a fun thing. Arcane has an alternate reality
Okay, so
episode.
who do you think is
It's
the
great.
other hottest one?
Oh god. I mean, it's Latla, and I don't love that it's Latla. Followed by Change.
Oh, God, no. You know who I think is. No, I don't want to say
The
it.
Sun is the hottest. You're not okay. You have to say it. You can't do that to our fans. You can't start a sentence in something this funny and then say no. I don't wanna.
No, because they'll be all like, "I told you so. He's amazing.
Is
He's
it Fang?
always."
Is it Fang?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we both agreed that Fang started shit and boring and became a cool dude.
I know, but I think he's, to me, it goes like Fuuko, Rip, Andy, Fang.
That's fair. That's fine.
And I just think Fang he's just kind of really hot and awesome.
That's
or as
fair.
we call it in this world, hotsome.
See, I am not the type of straight man who is afraid of saying when I think dudes are hot, but like I genuinely don't think any of the dudes in Undead Unluck are the type that I say, yeah, that's a hot guy.
I think Fang is hot.
Okay, you're
I think
allowed. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that's why I can't
because
contribute.
is wrong, so it would be awesome.
There's a lot of One Piece men and even Berserk men that I have an easy time being like, yeah, that's a hot dude. But you know what? I can't really think of an Undead Unluck guy that fits my vibe where I'm like, yeah, that's a cool hot guy. That's just how it is sometimes. But I'm glad you came
For
around on
God's
Fang.
sakes, Drawk, Andy fits all your bills. He's kind of evilish in his own way,
No.
and
Look at
he's
his.
got a feminine waist. He just looks like a
He
very
does have
tall
that. He does have that
human woman.
snatched slutty waist going on for him.
Yes, he just looks like a very tall, buff woman.
Yeah, I mean, except with the fucking freaky no eyebrow face.
Yeah, well, you know.
Actually,
Rude.
no, Soul is hot.
Yeah, Soul is hot. Soul is
Yeah,
very hot.
there we go. Soul actually for sure.
I would put Soul right after Fang.
I mean, look, we were talking about it early on, but Andy does just have that snatched waist. And it turns out the crazy thing is that is a character design decision because it's not like every buff dude in Undead Unluck has the snatched waist.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What do I think of Change's color scheme? Oh, we got to see her in color. Let me look that up again.
I think we went through this. We have to do some closing pieces.
Yeah. Holy shit. Do we do a closing segment for the full thing? Do we do a top 10 characters
for the whole thing? Like,
I think we do a top 10 characters, and I think we do a final placement of Fuuko on Andy on the whole of where they fit on the protagonist tier list.
Okay, I'm loving this.
I think let's just start with the obvious. Fuuko is an S+ protagonist. She has changed my definition of what a good protagonist is.
There's no way I would argue with you. I think that Fuuko is one of the best written main protagonists I have ever seen. The design of Fuuko, the writing for Fuuko, the choices for Fuuko, the whole way through, some of the best I've ever seen in all my days.
Fuuko is remarkable. Fuuko has forever changed how I engage with fiction. I now look at sad backstories as like
I'm so happy for Jackie that she gets to be Fuuko. Like I'm jealous.
honestly, it's incredible. Jackie gets to be one of the greatest characters. That's amazing. And
The
having
change
now watched the first few episodes, does a phenomenal job.
and the change she gets to go through in this character, like Fuuko was a soft amazing at first and like that quiet amazing, and then she moved her way through to
But
become like what she is.
But all of her strength is just so that she can better accomplish being who she is. It's independence, it's power,
Exactly.
but like she's
Yeah.
still a character defined by her capacity for love. To the
Yeah.
last minutes of the series, why there's no challenge at the end is because Fuko's capacity for love was entirely underestimated. I think if there's anything
Exactly.
I want different of the ending is I wanted Fuko to the thing that I said was a prediction. I'm sad didn't happen. I wanted Fuko to come to understand and feel love for Sun and Moon. I'm fine with it not happening. I just
Okay, I would agree with you. I would
I
agree.
think that's the one thing I was missing is I wanted
But
her
thinking
to come
power
to
thing,
understand and love them.
Fuuko understanding and loving Sun and Moon would have been a real kind of game changer. It would have kind of tied all those knots back together.
However, fucking still phenomenal. Fuko's S
Still
plus.
phenomenal.
I
You picked
want
the first one, I picked the second one.
yeah
But I say instead we both picked the first and second because we
yeah.
both just agree it's Andy.
No no. I think we just do protagonists first so that they don't have to be on the ranking. I think we just do our protagonist tier list first, and then we do our top 10 characters.
Protagonist tier list is Andy and Fuuko.
Yeah. I'm saying, but remember,
And I'm gonna
we
go with
rank
Andy is
protagonists.
also a solid S plus.
I want to argue. I think he's just an S, not an S plus. I think Fuko's
Okay,
the
so
stronger of the
here's
two.
why I would disagree with you because
Okay.
he took all the things about a character like Andy, who's supposed to be all brawn, out there making the big changes, just leading with full testosterone, and instead of that, he let Fuuko change him in the first thing in first Ragnarok before we moved over to second Ragnarok, and it became that Andy ended up being a protagonist character who was supposed to come off as a meathead testosterone person who instead understood the power of love and had so much faith and love in the person who Fuuko was that he completely changed the way that he played out the entire second Ragnarok, knew exactly what he had to do, was sitting on the sun, made all those changes, held the people down in under, all the rules down and under. But more importantly, his character, I think, was the biggest change I've seen in that male type of archetype character ever. He allowed him to still be strong, still feel who he was, but he had him stand beside Fuuko in a very different way than I have ever seen in a character. It was one of the most, in my opinion, feminist depictions of a couple I've ever seen.
Can I say something else that I think is phenomenal about this series at the end of the day? I think that Andy is built up to be the ultimate been there, done that. I'm the big badass. I've done it all. And it makes sense. He has lived at the time that we meet him like 160 years, right? He is an
More than that.
immortal. Well, no. Andy's experience has only lived like 160 years. His body's lived for billions.
Yeah.
But he is the I've done it all. I'm the powerful one. I'm so cool and strong. And it feels like he is so dramatically beyond what Fuuko is, because he is. She's a fucking 18-year-old girl
Child.
giving
a
up
child.
on life, and he is this like 160-year-old immortal mercenary.
Agreed.
And yet we see the series build Fuuko up until they're equals.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and literally I cannot emphasize this enough. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like he's ahead of her, he's stronger than her, he's filled with testosterone, he walks around saying wicked, sick, and sticking his dink out everywhere. He's dying all the time. If you ain't dying, you ain't trying. He is the epitome of that normal kind of like just Leroy Jenkins with too much muscle and not enough thought. And he did the biggest shift in this story. And the shift came out of love and trust and understanding for a person, not a woman, for a person. Like he fell in love with her soul. He understood what soul was. He didn't feel like he was emasculated with it. He felt like he was still a strong, roughhouse man, no emasculation, just he became an equal with her. He understood all the amazingness of her. He became awed by who she was, and it didn't take anything away from his character. And I think that's why I think it was one of the greatest male characters I've seen in like so long. I love his character. He's an S plus for me all the way.
Okay. And then also on top of that, something I want to add.
Yeah.
Never does he stop being over the top masculine manly. He just incorporates
never.
that with an expanded worldview. He is still all of the things you said. It's just there's more depth than that. There's more to him than that, and there
Exactly.
needs to be more. And
That's what I'm
it's
change
yeah.
him in the way that made him less of those things that he was. It wasn't trying to change him.
Mhm.
It just made him rich. Yeah. So on the love or hate the end, so that they can close the prediction.
Yeah, we loved it.
Full love, like
I
absolutely,
we
hands down love.
there's the little complaint. There's the little complaint that I wanted her to come to understand Sun and Moon. I wanted Fuuko's
Yeah.
capacity for empathy to have more focus, and her capacity for love had focus because it was her ability to have this endless love and inspire it in others that made her heart such a powerful artifact. Um, However, I still wanted her to come to understand what they were up against and the game more thoroughly. Like I think
It was so good.
that's my only complaint. However,
My
yeah,
my only complaint is that the area that they speed ran the rules, I would have liked to have seen them take a month. I didn't need to see it. They could have said, we need to sit down with the rules and really think about it, and then think about the things that might be different from the world that we live in and correct it, and also come up with why they did it. But that would be my only thing, other than yours. When you said yours, I was like,
well,
okay, yeah, no,
the
that makes
reason
sense
I
too.
like that they were blasé about it is because I like that what mattered to them was just that it wouldn't fall apart and that humans would have self-determination. Nothing else mattered. They didn't need an
And I
ideal
would
world.
agree that I would like that to be the surface level, but I would have liked to see my scientist people say, like, I agree, everyone, but we just need to not make the same mistakes the
Yeah, but
gods
you
made.
gotta but
Let's
the mistake was
let's
trying to
some
have
time.
control and trying to
I
tweak
don't
it.
even think we needed to see anything. I just think that we needed to see like a month later them saying, so it turns out it's the exact same thing, and then the guy goes, yes, the exact same thing. Like it would have been good
Okay.
if just one
So
of them
see
had
them
needed
think
that
about
kind
it,
of thing.
but then they're like,
Yeah.
no. I like to the brazenness because I love that the point was not making it perfect and instead just letting humans have self-determination.
I
Um,
also think my way would have given them an opportunity for like a
I
funny
can
joke and
I
a little aside.
guys, we need this series to get more popular because like we can only stream so many times a week for now. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do more streams, it'll be easier. But I want to do more content about Undead Unluck, but stuff that gets way less views is harder to justify. But I do want to at some point, God, I want the series to be more successful. At some point I want to do a video, a converse stream and video that is just the biblical reading of Undead Unluck because
Oh,
to
I
me
agree.
this series is one of the things it's about is basically our world being a godless world being the like thing we should actually strive for and celebrate, that like the need to worship holds us back, and that the real power we have is not obedience to a greater being, that the real power we have is love and empathy for each other. And like that's really fucking cool, and that's
That
wild that this
whenever
is
we stray from the idea that love should be the center of our connection, that's when we're in trouble.
Mhm. But like, yeah, specifically the idea that a world of love would not want a god, that a world of love would
Yeah.
not want a higher power telling you what is
Yeah.
right and wrong, what the rules are, what you can
100%.
and can't do, that your love and empathy for others is what should make the world right and just.
Exactly. And that's
Mhm.
what I mean. Like every time you stray from that and you're thinking about like worshiping or having to follow the rules of something rather than just following what is right for the people in front of me who I love, that's when we get in trouble in the world.
Yep.
Okay,
Don't commit the
so
sin of
1 and 2,
empathy
those
though, it's
are our
dangerous.
people. I'm going S plus on
On
Andy.
Andy, I will allow it. You've talked me into it. I wanted to put him a
He's
little lower, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I also don't think Fuuko could have been as cool as she was without him being the S plus dude he was.
He carried the first half of the series, and she
And
carried the
not only
second.
that, he it was his belief in her initially that cued us to believe in her.
Yep, you're right. Um. Okay, so now let's do our top 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking fire one off. I'm gonna fucking cold shot this shit.
Okay.
I don't want to take the number one. I think you know that I would like to put Anno at number one, but I think we need to save that. I think we need to see how we fill up the other spaces. So I'm gonna do a wild one. I'm gonna pick a number 5 right now. So let me sit on of our lads, of our friends, who is our number 5 character that has meant the most to this series, how it develops. This is a crazy one because they aren't even a relevant portion of 101. They don't exist in
And you're gonna
101.
put them at number 5?
You know what? I'll put it in 7. I'm going to put them in 7. I'm going to put a character in 7 who doesn't even exist in 101 because I genuinely think their brief tenure in the series had more impact than almost any character. And I want to start
Okay.
with a weird one. Number 7 for me is Spring.
Oh my god. Out of the favorite characters, you're making number 7 Spring.
Yes.
Fuck.
Someone pointed out that the first loop protagonist was Undead and the second loop protagonist was Unluck, and that's so good.
That's so true. Um Spring. Yeah. Spring did change the tone of the piece.
Yep.
Dude. Dude, that's good.
I think we can easily forget it because the 101 didn't matter. But I think that was the moment that this felt the most different. Like,
I got a number 5.
okay,
It's Clothy.
we're starting with Umas. That's a wild one. I think that's crazy. I'm not gonna say if I agree or not because that's not how we do it. That's just Clothy's it. Clothy's
Number
number
5
5
is
now.
Clothy. Clothy was more than anyone in this thing. Clothy was Andy's partner this whole time. Clothy is the reason we were able to win in the end with the meeting on the sun with Fuuko. Clothy, if you go back, and I went back to this thing and looked up Clothy moments, and Clothy came in clutch every time. Let's just look this up.
Okay. Okay, we're looking it up now.
I had written some stuff out, so I just want to look.
Wait, I just realized. Yeah, I can. If I exaggerate these faces a little, they're so much funnier.
They are way more funny. Okay. The initial encounter when Clothy first appears, and then the whole escaping thing, the regeneration and then adaptation when he was tamed by Andy, and then his clothes stayed on him the entire time, and worked with Andy's condition of never being able to die. That in itself was really nice, and not having to see Andy's wiener all the time was great for everyone because made the show a little weird.
It also let the series keep its vibe of like, yeah, his clothes should be constantly destroyed because of how his powers work without like having to deal with that consequence.
Yeah. All the different ways in which the Unluck attacks, exposing Andy's skin at critical moments, and Clothy would just move away during combat, creating a space for it to go to, and also allowing her to carry his things and then reattach it to Andy so that it increased the Unluck. The shape shifting there, it just felt like the protecting Andy and being part of him when he was on the sun. Like I felt like over and over again, her taking a piece of Clothy back with her to Earth, blah blah blah, so that she could end up doing the final attack. Like it, in my opinion, it was he really brought a lot to this piece in one of the weirdest ways. So I think for me, one of the reasons that I like Clothy is it was so freaking weird. And yet, he ended up just being a character and an important character that I actually would see being more important to me and more interesting of a character than lots of the other people.
I I think a big theme of the series is coming around to love things that you thought you would only hate because this is a series about learning to love. That
Well,
very
that's why I
few
picked Coffee now.
well,
When you picked Spring, you made a really good point. We learned to love Spring, something that
mhm,
was attacking them, something that
well,
was supposed to be this like horrible thing.
I want to do another character though that
Okay.
that we didn't give enough to early on.
Okay.
Number 9.
All right.
I genuinely think this is true somehow. But when I think about the characters that bring me the most joy, number 9 against the odds is Sean.
Oh, whoa, Sean.
Yeah,
Oh, Sean, you really made it.
he made it to the big leagues. He's up here.
I'm gonna move Clothy
Oh,
down to 8 then, because
okay.
if Sean is 9, Clothy can't be 5.
I think 7, 8, 9 is a good start. I actually think Clothy at 8, I feel like I like a bit better. I feel the same way,
Yeah,
like, you talked me down from 5 for spring, and I'm glad, because the more I think about it, I'm like,
yeah.
7's more fair for spring.
No,
Like,
I would put Clothy at 7, but Spring is at 7, so I'll put Clothy at 8.
you know what? I'll let you trade them. I disagree,
Yeah,
but I'll allow this. I think we do a little tradesies.
okay.
Where we
7,
got
8, 9. Okay,
7 is
Sean, look at
Clothy,
you.
8 is spring, 9 is Sean. Sean?
Nice. Okay, we picked some
The
weirdies here,
see,
hey?
well, here's the thing. The PowerPoint a bit sold me, but I'd already started to see that, I'd already started to notice all the little ways that Sean was just the guy. Sean is him. Sean is the one who's always there when we need someone there. And like that's meaningful. That's not nothing.
No, I agree.
All
And
right.
like with so little belief in himself too,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. So little belief,
And
but he's
having
out there
to
doing it.
having to recreate the belief in himself all the time made it really, really difficult.
Yep. All right. Who's your
Uh,
next one?
I don't want to tell you because I'm like trying to decide where I want to put Rip right now.
Okay.
Um, so I like it. There's something so cool about Rip, right? Because it's actually RIP, which is rest in peace.
Yep.
And so it feels like such a great character opposite of somebody who can never die and get the rest of peace.
Yep.
And to have him permanently destroy things and be the person that when he touches them, he makes everything rest in peace,
Mhm.
but he doesn't give anyone peace because the things that he destroys are often the things that people need and love, and now he has ruined them forever. It creates such a strong link between his character and his abilities, and there's something so cool with it. He's also that person who's too focused on something and doesn't see the bigger picture, which I think is so true of many of us. We're all very, very into that.
Mhm.
Um, more than almost anyone, he fits. Mm, where would I put you, Rip? Where would I put you, Rip?
Someone
I
pointed
think
out
I
that
would
it's
make.
sorry, you go first, then I'll say this
No,
chatter.
you go first. You go first.
Okay, a
Let me
chatter
think
pointed
about
out
it.
that it's funny that the series is metatextually aware that Sean is a side character because he's become a successful actor but can't land a leading role. He's just too good as a supporting cast.
I think I'm going to put Rip at 4.
I think that's super fair. Rip is a big part of the heart of the series. Can I argue that we bend
You
the
know why,
rules and
too?
we allow
He
3
goes.
people? We allow 3
It's
people to share a spot.
Oh, are you going to argue Rip and his
Rip, Latla, and
sisters?
Layla. Rip and
Yep,
the sisters get to share a spot, I think.
Rip and sisters. I would agree to that because I think that it's more than that because we've got all the Rip and the surgical past and the sick and the unrepair and the rest in peace and how fierce he is in combat, but you also have that he was like a super super huge part of theirs, but he was also super huge part of Under, and that he was willing to do dark and terrible things in order to get the things that he needed, and then that he had one of the greatest redemption stories
Yep.
and pulled himself out and said, if I'm going to love, if I'm going to love and I'm going to give up everything for love, then I better be working for the right team.
Rip and Layla were the core of the heart of 101's ending. And then we're also, in my opinion, at the center of one of the best parts, or sorry, of 100's ending. And we're at the
I
center
agree.
of one of the best parts of 101 as well.
Agree. So I'm going to go 4 with
Yeah.
the sisters.
Yep, I
Let
think
Lily
that's so
love.
reasonable. That's so
Yeah.
reasonable. Yeah, the polycool's up there. It's not really polycool because they're sisters. They are not dating each other, I would assume, on account of being sisters. But
Yeah.
non-monogamy.
Okay. Who's the
Okay.
next?
Okay. This is tough. This is tough. I think I
This
need
is
to.
so hard.
I think I need to just be honest with myself. Do you think it's because, like, I've been thinking about it. I wanted to take my time with this, but I can't. It just feels like it must be true. Do you agree with me? Like, I sit with this. And I just don't know a character who's had so little screen time who has hit me emotionally in such a big way. Akira and Anaun as number 1, I'm feeling so inclined. Do you wish to stop me, or will you allow me to put Tracksuit McGee in the number 1 seat?
My God.
I can switch this to number 2 if needed, or even 3, but, like, I truly can't think of a character other than Andy and
I
Fuuko that hits me as hard.
just for me, honestly, for me,
Uh-huh.
I would put Juiz before Akira.
Okay. Then how about we do number 2? And I'll say number 2 is Akira and Anaun because genuinely, they have hit me so goddamn hard every time I've seen them.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's fair. For me, even though they are not my favorite character and I didn't love where they went sometimes, I would say
Uh-huh.
Juice is number 1 or
Interesting.
Juiz or
Jui.
Juice.
How about we do
Juiz.
couple pairings and Jui and Victor get to share a
And
spot? Why not?
yes, and then I was going to actually say that, so I'm glad you
Hell yeah.
did because I think that we can't forget that we we're grateful for what happened with Undead and Unluck, but they were riding it out together for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years and really got
So
us to where we were.
here's my thing, right? I think we only do the pairings where it feels like the characters were made truly what they were by being paired together. And I think for Victor and Jui, as they are alone, they actually don't hit me that hard. For whatever reason, they've never spoken to me. But their relationship really does.
Their relationship and finding out about all the background of the relationship was a huge thing for me.
Like, so here's a wild one. I'm gonna take this back and I'm gonna do a weird one. Number 6 is open, and I'm gonna do number 6 as, Tatiana, and I know people pair Billy and Tatiana as, like, adoptive, father and daughter, but their relationship isn't what made either of those characters for me ever. Like, Tatiana
I
was
would
cool
agree.
on her own, and that's why I feel like Victor and Jui, if we can put them together, them as a pair is, I agree, my favorite, but on their own,
Yeah,
they don't speak to me the same way, whereas Tatiana and Billy, I read them very separately. I like the relationship, but it's
yeah,
not why I like them.
I 100% do too. I would, and you can fight with me on this one if you want to. We can have a decision.
Yeah.
I would put Gina at number 3.
Um, I think that's perfectly valid. That's probably where I would put her.
Yeah. I think she became one of my favorite characters,
Yep.
which is really
Yep.
wonderful that we were given that she was killed right away
Mhm.
and that you're like, what the shit? And then Gina ends up being so special to us.
Can I give you one here where I want to mention honorable mentions because I think they genuinely weren't present enough to hit me the way that I need.
Yeah.
But Void and Engine, their small
Yeah.
arcs were
Yeah.
incredible. And I just want to put an honorable mention for Void and Engine.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, cool. Um
Nico and his wife, I would like somewhere up at the top. We don't have the room for him.
uh yeah, we have run out of space, huh? Do we did 1, 2, 3, and 4 now, and 5, huh?
Did we do 5?
Did we do 5? I thought you did 5 with no, you did 4 with Latla and Rip, right? So 5 is
Yeah.
open. I think 5
Yes.
is Nico and Ichiko for sure.
I would say so too. And especially when you consider that Nico is the person that like I would bump other people down to put him in there because Nico is the person that she first goes to and is like the very first person I
Yep.
need on my team is Nico. And he is like the center of so many of the things that happen in the
Mhm,
story from that moment
mhm.
on.
So now number 10, you have interesting options and like cuz I don't know how you want to do this, but you have Mui, you have Shen, you have Fang as choices. God, there's a lot.
Oh, so fucking hard.
Yeah. I think we have Billy. I Here's a weird thing. I like Billy. He didn't speak to me the way a lot of the characters in this did.
Yeah, and he spoke to some people hard and
He's a
I was
lot of
more.
people's favorites, and for me, I'm
Yeah.
fully fine with Clothy being above him. Like, I don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Billy at all. Just like, everybody's gonna have characters that aren't hitting them the same way.
Okay, it's shitty because for me, I'm fighting between in my head Soul and Fang.
That's tough. That's tough. And those are characters who cannot be paired together. Do you want to
No.
replace anyone we currently have with them? Because I don't.
No,
I feel like I would rather have Clothy and I would rather have Sean. And that feels wild that I would rather have Sean. But like when I started to see all the little ways Sean was in the background being such just a good boy, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I love this kid.
I think it's Fang.
I agree. And I think he should be there for the same reason I like Sean there. Because this is a series about coming to love things.
Yep, I would agree. And even though I came to love some of who Soul was, I
Yeah.
came to really, really love Fang and see his grumpy, jerky self as this weird protective thing. But he also went through the biggest changes as a
Yep.
character. Like
Yep. He
he's
fully
so
did. His
growth
growth was
as a
incredible.
character. You know,
Look.
you know who I'm going to give an honorable mention to? I think from both Drawk and I.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to the fucking rabbit, a goo.
Honorable mention to Chikara, the rabbit, Agoo, the rabbit, Agoo, Monkey Man.
So hard.
Oh, Ishin gets an honorable mention for sure. I loved her, but dude, we couldn't do
Okay,
it.
everyone. That's our top 10 list. That's our
Um,
top 10 list.
let's end on something special, which I think is we've been ending Undead Unluck with like a scene that stood out to you.
Yeah.
I want to pick two today. One from the final bit, one from the ending that felt like it stood out to you in a way that felt remarkable. And then what thing? Oh yeah, straw hat. I'll do that real quick. I had a plan and then I changed my rendering style and it doesn't work anymore. So I'll have to figure that out. I mean, we could do our favorite drip from the series. That is true. Our favorite drip from the last chapter is just Fusion Sun, where he absorbs all the Umas. That goes hard as hell.
Like, obviously.
Yeah. And then the wedding dress. Those are the two. We did it. Congratulations.
Wedding dress was so pretty.
Yeah, we didn't have to. There we go. You got top drip. Who picked what? I don't remember. Who knows? Anyways, what do you think? What do you think about that? One from the series and then one from this section that are moments that spoke to you in a deep way, moments that felt really special.
Okay, well, you brought up the one moment. Her sitting in the park and holding Spring while Spring died will never not be special to me.
God, yes.
That was when I knew that we were in a very different series, and then I had not understood how good this was going to be.
Yeah, I think I super agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is one that just lives rent free in my head, and I'm not intending to charge it.
Man, I have no idea how to make one of these work as a. Oh, do I know? I don't know.
Okay, do you have one that sits for you in the whole series?
Yeah, let me think about this. I have a series moment that sticks with me, and it's so obvious because I'm such an Unknown fan. Like, they are the one who so frequently speaks to me in the deepest way. So it's not like surprising, but one of the two times in the series that I out of nowhere cried was another Ano-un scene. And this one was, I think, the bigger of the two, even bigger than the one in the ending, was Ano-un showing up, or sorry, Akira, not Ano-un, showing up and seeing it from their perspective as Ragnarok 1 finishes, and just like still so happy to just be present, watching their heroes fight to the last breath.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
just so content to
Yes.
observe the end of the world and celebrating silently all of these people they love fighting to their death. Oh my god. It is that those like 2 pages are so fucking good.
It was so hard.
Oh,
my heart. I forgot about it. I also was just going back and doing like while you were trying to find your page, I was going back and going through random moments remembering the moment that Fuuko was put into the container, and Andy was just standing there waiting for her to wake up when she had had her ghost soul, and him just grabbing her with all of his might and holding her. And like, there were so many moments. I think they are one of my very favorite love stories.
I agree. It's beautiful.
Oh, that moment. You know why they're one of my favorite love stories is so many times in love stories, one of the couples has to be the support of the other couple, and they don't get to just be equally, like
Mhm.
legitimately equally cool. Like, we're watching Berserk, and they are not equally cool. Casca
No,
and Guts are not equally cool.
no, and
And
like I
and it
don't think
and it
that's
it sits ugly with me.
I don't think
This
it ruins it, but it's weaker.
no, but it's weaker and it sits ugly with me.
Yeah.
Fuko and Andy are the one of the first times that I've read something where both of the people maintain their coolness, grow in their coolness, become more and more fulfilled and awesome people, and get to go through changes. Like, so often, if a couple goes and change, they're like, we no longer fit together. And instead, they love each other in the kind of way where they're like, I love watching you change. I love the way you grow. And they just have full faith. You will figure things out. You've got your part. I've got my part. I have full faith in you. And they become equally cool people.
It's really, really beautiful. I love it. I love the faith they have in each other. I love how Fuko comes to be Andy's equal from starting as like a child. It's and like sure, Andy had a bunch of soul training for billions of years, but as far as life experiences, the author timed it so they end up about the same by the end of the series, where they've both spent 160 years or so of life
And
getting
they've both
better
had
and
to have
stronger.
trauma, and they've both got to have successes, and they've both had to put
Yep.
their minds, bodies, and souls on the line, and they
Yep.
both have friendships. And it's wonderful. Oh,
It's
I love this series.
what what a beautiful series, guys. This it it feels so surprising when we think about how this wasn't an exceptionally popular series. It feels so like such a weird blessing that this is what we picked. Like it feels
And
like
I'm
it
so
wasn't
glad
that
that we got to
likely.
do it with the squishies. It wouldn't have been as fun to just read it on my own. I really feel that it was a little more fun and a little more interesting to get to analyze it, to hear people's
Well,
perspectives, and to have other people who understood its greatness be part of our team.
I feel like it's not the same as Berserk, where Berserk like it feels like discussing Berserk upgrades it in this huge way where we every week come to love it more than we came into the episode. This series, it didn't feel like it got needed quite that, but it
Yeah.
still was like hearing other people's perspectives on the characters and coming in to dissect it. And there was several moments like Spring where we found so much thematic depth just by the exploration, just by like getting to talk about it, that I'm so thrilled
So
we
many
got to
times
do
that
that.
we got that while we were talking. We would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh yeah, oh DP read it because of us." So did Bettina. She is
Oh, that's
a
awesome.
creator on here,
Oh,
and she said she's going to be on our show eventually doing some stuff. And
oh
she
hell
said
yeah.
she read it because we recommended it, and so she decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot, and she loves it.
It's such a good series, and I'm so glad, like, if fucking 10 people read this series because we went through it and this is what we chose, then honestly, I feel like we had a good impact on the world because this series just deserves more love. It deserves to be more loved. Sam Fisher, you were the person who recommended it. Sam Fisher, you get points. I don't know. I can't give you channel points. It's not how channel points work, but you get some form of points. Some spiritual
Fictional
essence of
points.
points has been transmitted to you by the universe. I inflict karma upon you, Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher, I'm behind that. Oh, by the way, shout out Bettina Levy. She's the person I was talking about there. You can go and watch
Dude,
her.
it's
Look at
fucking
that
what a great
thing.
series. Um at the beginning of the series, I feel like there is one thing that was missold because a lot of people were like, sure, it's fun, but like it's not as thematically rich as One Piece. I will say, this is not as like thematically dense as One Piece, where One Piece has many themes it is trying to tackle, but around a few core ideas. This series is very focused on its themes, but it explores them so richly and with so much nuance.
Yeah, exactly. And And also, it can be as dense as you want it to be because you could read this story at a surface level and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It isn't until you start really pulling it apart, you're like, holy shit, there's some dark ass things here. There's some love here. There's things in here I didn't see at first glance. I think that this is a hard 10 out of 10 for me.
I agree. This was absolutely beautiful. Oh, Miguel commented it's not thematically deep because they hadn't reached spring yet. Miguel, that's fair. Before that point, it doesn't feel the same. I will say autumn started to hit me though. Like autumn already, I was like, oh
I thought
fuck.
it was interesting, even going into the book and getting to see the ways in which we found out that Andy had been through hell.
I to this day don't know if I like autumn or spring better as arcs.
Yeah.
Like they are so comparable in quality to me. They're both so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
y'all.
I'm 10 out of 10ing it though.
I'm gonna give it
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm a person who's comfortable with giving 100% and 10
Oh
out
no,
of
no,
10.
I give 100%. You know what? You know what? I think that's fair. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. And I'll just say I'm a teacher who assigns extra credit sometimes, and 110 is not impossible
I would
if you
agree.
entirely reshape my idea of media.
I would agree. I 100% say to people, yeah, you can do more than 100%. Like if you get extra assignments or do more. But for me, this is a 10 out of 10. What more could I have asked for them? That's what I ask myself when I'm reading this
Yeah.
piece. You gave me adventure in a way that was understandable. You didn't overcrowd the scenes in your fights so that I didn't know what was going on. All
Mhm.
the fights were germane to the actual plot. You created non-fight plots that were stunning. You had a thematic theme
Yep.
moving through it with love and rebirth and change and growth. It was feminist, it was masculine, it had something for everyone. It made you think about the world differently. It made you think about the world you live in differently. It was fun to read. Every time I picked it up, I knew that I was going to be entertained. It's a 10 out of 10.
All right.
Pop off.
I have been suggested to do something and I agree. So I need to go find an image that's very important. Where the fuck did I put this file, y'all? When did we do the vote? We did it in August? Oh, that's crazy. We committed to this in August, the same it started and ended with. All right, guys.
Oh
I'm going to
my
upgrade.
gosh.
I'm going to upgrade this. I'm going to make some changes here, okay?
Okay, let's do it together. Characters, 5 out of 5.
Yep, let's
How
go. We're making
dare
some
anyone
changes.
say otherwise?
I would have debated until near the ending, and then I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? Fuck it. Actually, we're going hard as fuck.
Story 5 out of 5. I would say themes for me are like
I
are people
want
not
a
thinking
diamond
about
star. I want a diamond star
I was
themes.
just gonna say, are people not realizing the love theme and the
No, I
way in
think
which
remember someone specifically said they were one of the ones who felt like it wasn't that thematically deep, and they hadn't reached spring yet.
Oh, okay. That's a diamond star. Themes are diamond
It
star.
felt. I understand if you're not that far, if you've just maybe seen the anime, which only goes up to autumn. I really do understand why you
And the
would
last
say
orange when you're
4
done.
because it's strong. It's strong but not crazy. I think the
Yeah.
only one that I would weirdly enough, having read it, I feel like our chat got it extra wrong because if we did half stars, we don't because we're cool. If we were doing half stars for these, I would even debate doing 4.5 for
We
story.
do half stars.
Oh,
Look at
we
the
did?
darkness. It's a 4.5.
You're right. I would debate doing 4.5 for story because it didn't feel as strong as the characters and themes for me. I'm debating. What do you think? Do we think 4.5 story? Do we think 5 story?
I think
Because that was
this
the
story
simpler part, right?
I think the story though was a vehicle that always worked
Yes.
for character development.
I want to say 4.5. I want if you feel strongly about 5, I'll bring it back.
No, I feel okay with 4.5. I really do.
I think
But themes needs to be a platinum.
themes is a diamond star. I think
Characters is a full 5.
yeah, it's
Yeah, but that's
exactly
how Ruka Witch is right. It is a simple story told
yes.
so well.
Yeah.
Which is yeah.
The only thing that's making me want to reevaluate is how interesting it is for a story to revisit its own stories and
That's
have
what
the
I
concept of fixing its own backstories.
and
But
the other
like,
thing I was just about to say in that story is, are we punishing it for being a story that is simple and told
I
itself so
I don't
well?
I think it's fair to say that the story to
And
me
then
wasn't
keep in mind,
as driving as themes and characters by a
but
small
also the
margin.
story had the whole thing about the two gods playing a game with us
Yep,
over a long-term period of time. I don't know. Can we come back to story? Let's finish it and come back.
I think that's fair. Light.
Light. Yep.
Yep, that feels fair. It's not like the
That is
funniest manga.
fair.
I think One Piece is funnier and
I
a
would
little bit
even
more
say that as
cheerful.
far as light goes, I would give it a 3.5. I don't think it's a full 4. It has some
Yeah.
very dark
The thing
moments.
that makes me convinced it's a 4 maybe is how much the theme is around Fuuko's ability to reach out and enlighten people, but
And enlighten and touch people.
yeah, I don't know. I think 3.5 isn't that unreasonable.
I think, yeah, I
Darkness
think
2.5 or 3, someone's saying. I don't know if I disagree. I think 2.5 darkness maybe.
2.5
Yeah, I
max.
don't think 3. I don't think quite 3, but it definitely was a bit darker than we expected by a small margin.
Yeah. An X Factor shonen romance.
I think that's still reasonable. It's a shonen series
That
that is a
is.
romance, but like
What does it say? Grabby channel what?
grabby chapter 1 because he gets all gropey in chapter 1.
I actually didn't give a shit about that. I
I'm
think
gonna
it dealt
say
with it well right away.
shonen about love is more what I'd say is the X factor because that's what feels
Yes.
crazy about it to me.
If you're
Is
gonna ask me about an X Factor, I'm gonna say that it's one of the most, and I hate saying it because people misinterpret this, but
yep.
I would say that it is the most, like, it's the most feminist thing I've read in a million years.
Here's why I'm not
I
gonna
think
put
it's
that.
a
I'm not gonna
shonen
put that
about
for
love. No,
uh,
because people wouldn't grab onto it because they're
well
jerks.
well no,
But what
the
I would,
branding of feminism's just kind of gone downhill. When people
that's
are
what I said.
surveyed, people on average have more feminist values on average than they have ever had, and yet general
Yeah, because
opinions
people
about
have told them
feminism
to be
is at an all-time
feminism, and
low for the
it's
last
so
like 50
stupid.
years. Yeah,
Yeah, we've gone through these periods before in history.
the
But
branding's
I would
bad. The
say that the
branding's
thing that
bad.
I loved about it is that it was a story. I would say that it's more than love. Like it was, but how do you describe more than love?
Yeah.
So
I
I would
think
just say shown
I
about
think
love.
I think shonen about love is all you can say for it to be simple. And Drawk Red is now a 5-star.
That no, yeah, no,
I
yeah,
have I have read it now.
yeah. Can you put Mama Drawk Red underneath there?
Yeah.
And then I think we should give it a full decision on what we think. And I'm calling it a 10 out of 10.
I think I'd still go 9.5 thinking about it, but I think we average up in this household. So,
The pedal goes up in this household.
y'all
Yeah, Rafe, don't worry. We've gone through this shit before where people didn't want to be known as feminists. It's cyclical. It's sad and cyclical.
I mean, the good news is if you say you believe in both genders being treated equally, you're saying the same goddamn thing in a way that everyone agrees with. Not
Yeah, but
everyone.
people
There
do
are
that intentionally
misogynists.
because if you pull it down, then you don't have to have conversations about it. And meanwhile, we have women who are currently not allowed to be by a window or have their voice heard. And until every woman has equity, there is no equity.
I mean, look, yeah, but again,
Where are you putting that? What is going on with that? Are you tripling up in a weird way
no.
here?
It's a weird UI when you're moving text in a drawing app.
I love it in a way. Total evaluation, 10 out of 10. Congratulations! I think we should have fireworks here. Draw fireworks all over the page. Congratulations.
Lav, add
Undead
fireworks. I did it.
It's a 10 out of 10. I just, now the editors hate you. But
I
you
did
know
it.
what? The
Lav, you
editors
did it.
hate Drawk. That's fine.
Guys, let me tell you something here. This was a remarkable series. I am shocked at how much I loved it. Oh,
I am too.
I realized something. Someone pointed something out. I think it deserves a 2.5 darkness for one instead of a 2 for one reason. The one very important reason. Oh, I accidentally got rid of your name. You're because of I grabbed the wrong layer. You're right. You listen to me about my very important reason that it has to be a 2.5. Does it seem right that a series with 2 points in darkness would have on screen a 8-year-old child boiled to death? Right?
Ooh, don't forget that.
Oh, you I think I disconnected for a second. Did you hear me?
I heard you.
Like that feels like at least a 2.5,
Wait,
right?
how old is the goo?
How old is a goo? I think 8. I think like 8.
And then
She's 6?
she's
Okay.
6.
Okay, so we had a 6-year-old child boiled to death on screen. That is at least worth 2.5 stars.
And Fuuko tries to get rid of herself in the first chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh
So yeah.
y'all, this was such
Did
a
you
blast.
add a straw hat?
I'm about to now because I kept forgetting. So now we will. I'm trying to think about where the
Oh,
best place to add it in is because I want it to be. I was gonna do a shadow shape, but here's what I'm gonna do instead: is we're gonna make it be Fuko's eye shimmers are gonna be straw hat shaped.
straw hat.
I
I
guess only
shimmer.
one was added, so we'll just do one eye being straw hat shape. Sparkles. It's a little straw hat.
I can't believe it's. Aren't you going to put the words in here? I really wanted the words in here.
I feel like it's kind of nice as is.
No, it's very nice, but it's the final thing. It's so cute that they both forgot their wedding and yet they're so in love.
Here. Let me
And
do
she
something
got
first.
exactly the relationship she'd always dreamed and read of. Like, ugh.
That's so beautiful.
It started out with her wishing she could have this thing, and instead she got an entire family and somebody who loves her for just who she is.
What a great story. Guys, come join us for Berserk if you want more uplifting manga about hope and love.
Guys, come join us for Berserk if you don't mind things that are very disturbing.
Okay, fine. I'll put it in the fur. People don't like the straw hat. They dislike it.
Question.
Yeah,
Yeah. What was the question? I forgot.
that's a great question.
Shit, man.
Actually, that looks fine.
When is our piece from Tekken coming out?
When
This
is our
week?
piece from tagging? Dude, I have no idea.
Oh, question.
Yeah.
What
Yeah?
is the most other than One Piece? What is the most popular manga right now?
Like
Like
ongoing?
a manga that everyone is reading and wants to know about.
A
No, I
manga
haven't.
that is okay. Here's the thing: the most popular manga ongoing right now is Kagurabuchi, or Dandadan. There's not a lot of online content for either.
But do people watch online content for them?
No, because there isn't any.
Why isn't anyone doing online content for Dadadan?
I I don't know. Or Kagurabuchi. Neither of them have a YouTube base that I've seen. I haven't seen
Why is everyone doing Bleach then?
because Bleach used to be popular, so it has a bunch of channels dedicated to it already, and the anime is finally adapting the final arc of the manga because for a long time the anime producers were told to stop because the first arc largely plagiarized another shonen called Yu Yu Hakusho, but Akira Toriyama, the author of Dragon Ball, really liked Bleach, so he told them to keep making it, and then one day he read um Yu Yu Hakusho and was like, "Oh yeah, the first arc is actually really similar." Whoops a daisy, and stopped actively fighting for it. So they pushed it down because the author of Yu Yu Hakusho has a lot of sway, apparently politically, from what I understand. But then at a certain point, he just got over it and was like, "You know what? People are allowed to make similar stuff." And now they're making a high quality anime adaptation for the last arc out of nowhere. So people are freaking out, and there's a bunch of channels that already existed to talk about it. That's basically why.
That was way bigger than I thought was
I
going
mean,
to be.
that's kind of right. Oh,
No, like
Kagurabachi, not Kagurabuchi. Kagurabachi. Okay. Kagurabachi is very popular right now, and from what I understand, doesn't have much in the way of YouTubers talking about it. Same with Dandadan.
no, I
Dandadan
think that's
is weird though,
forever.
because it's a comedy, so I don't know. Yeah. Hunter x Hunter is also great, but it actually does have a YouTube scene. I don't know if there not being a YouTube scene is good or bad, right? Because it might mean there's people hungry for it, but it also means the algorithm doesn't know how to give it to people. I genuinely think one of the biggest things holding back our Undead Unluck content is that because there's not an ecosystem already for Undead Unluck, the YouTube algorithm doesn't know how to show people Undead Unluck videos. You have to build up the ecosystem for the algorithm to understand it, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
lots to consider on
Lots
this.
to consider. I think Kagurabachi I've heard really good things about, and I think we could do. I've seen the anime of Dan Dan Dan. From what I understand, the anime doesn't go very far though, so I don't know much of it. Hmm. Bum 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 bum. You bet the Bocce Bros would show up for content. The issue is they'd have to see it, and whether or not people see stuff is based off the algorithm. And because there's no YouTube comment for Kagurabachi, it'd be really hard to show it to people. Oh, Don, yeah. Donadon's also shown in romance. It is, and it's really fucking good. What do you think? I mean, we don't have to decide on air. We can decide whenever we want.
This is hard.
The thing is, whatever we start as a new manga, we don't need to do all at once. It's just, it'd be cool to be keeping up with something that's coming out, doing like theory videos when we have them. Should we say goodbye? I can't tell where your brain is at, dude.
About Naruto or Dragon Ball?
I do not want to reread Naruto in the slightest.
What about Attack on Titan?
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Please, dear God, yes. A fucking 1,000%. I'm so into Attack on Titan. I said, I'm doing a big video essay soon, but I just need
What
people
about
to
My
talk
Hero
to.
Academia?
Like I said, it just finished,
Your
and
hatred of My Hero Academia makes me excited about
My
it.
Hero Academia, I don't have hatred for. The issue with My Hero is that it would constantly switch from the most peak shit to like, wow, I don't care about this. And eventually I couldn't keep on that train. Like, I couldn't keep giving it my heart only to be like, I'm glad to hear that, deep man. I think when I make the video essay, we're going to see a lot of people having that opinion.
All right. I think we've done the thing. I'm sad.
We've done the thing. I'm sad too, dude. Oh, Dragon Ball's paneling
I don't want to
is
finish
so
the thing
good.
because I feel like
I
then we finish the thing.
thought that's what was happening, that you were not wanting to do an outro because you want to stick around.
Because then that's it. Like, that's it. We are saying goodbye. We were saying goodbye to my very first manga finish ever.
Yep.
But it has to happen. And, you know, a manga is only dead when it's forgotten.
And you know what? This is a manga that knew that and wants us to carry that. It wants us to remember this series and its characters that it loves so much. It wants Ono-un exists, and I stand by that. This is why Ono-un exists as a character, to remind us to always remember and be glad that we can, and celebrate and praise and think about the things we love. And I am so glad to see that.
I am too. I think from this manga, the thing that I'm going to take away is love doesn't look like changing people. Love looks like letting people move into their own strength as they are.
Aw. Guys, I can't do look back. It'll make me too sad. This was nice. This was good, y'all. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry we didn't save reading the chapter live to read it with you because
I'm not.
silly.
I liked this.
I liked it too. I had such a good time. And I am so fucking vindicated that this was meant to be read metatextually and it was about itself. Drawk wins. Media literacy win for Drawk.
God, good for you, dude. Good for you. Okay, guys. Let's rate Oak Tea.
Let's rate Oak. I mean, that's the thing on a Sunday that you want to do.
That's what we do
Oak
on a
Tea.
Sunday. We rate Oak Tea.
Yeah, it was a game, not a video game, but it was a game.
But it was a game.
Ugh, these characters. We love it. We love to see it. I love how it tries to get me to. Here's the thing, guys. There's other people I could raid, but like Oak is just so warm and inviting every time. And other people, like some people have been great, but like, come on, she plays kazoo for y'all. And today, drawing another pretty lady. Who would have guessed it?
Patreon, remember that.
Oh, the patron! I even grabbed their name.
Can
I
you
forgot.
do that?
I
Please?
forgot their name, but I have it now. Guys, and I'm not joking. This is what I randomly selected. I didn't go until I got a cool name this time. Thank you, our special squishy patron, Reaper Wolf.
Oh my god.
I'm not joking. That's what I randomized.
Are you sure you didn't pick that out?
No, I didn't. That was random, and I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Reaper Wolf?
Reaper Wolf."
That person made that for you.
And until next time,
I've been unhinged.
I've been unfiltered. That's mine.
Squish on
It's
squishies.
been lovely talking to you. Bye.